within and surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no. Stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
Pay attention to the reports whenever
I try and stick on stuff that I can control, and that's not one of those things. So, whatever happens, that's my style.
Do you feel like you guys have done enough to convince the front office to buy, to be buyers?
No idea.
Do you talk with the front office? Are you a guy who wants clarity beforehand, or no?
Honestly, hadn't thought about it until you asked. But no, it's alright. I've just kind of been honestly just focused on trying to win. That for me, that's my job. It's the most important thing, and it's what we talk about as a clubhouse and as a team. So just finding ways to do that.
To be below.
From the New York Post, from the New York Post, obviously there are reports that maybe the Yankees. Is that at all flattering? Is that something you have thought about at all?
Haven't thought about it at all.
So there you go. No matter how you ask the question, you're not getting Adley Rutschman to budge. Hi, good morning. Do you remember me? I'm Glenn Clark from Glenn Clark Radio. He's Griffin Bass from Glenn Clark Radio.
I almost forgot about you.
Yeah. We got to talk about what Griffin does because I can acknowledge I'm able to go on this amazing trip to Tanzania, and I could spend, by the way, the next 3 weeks worth of shows talking about it. I'm able to do that because my mother-in-law, period. That's it. I got to figure out what Griffin's doing. I think he might be working his secret job as a phone sex worker or something because I don't know if you guys noticed, he's out gallivanting the country.
Yeah.
He's out hopping around, going ballpark to ballpark.
I was helping my uncle move.
On an American tour.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Helping my uncle move. And so, yeah.
How do you get all the tickets? They're not free.
We get them at the gate.
I really wondered what
earlier
it is
in the
that
day.
Griffin's doing as a side gig. I gotta dive in.
Well, that one courtesy of my thanks, Uncle Mike. That was
it might explain why
for
certain
letting me
things
tag
don't
along.
get done around here. That might explain things.
What do you mean?
Well,
Everything gets done around here.
Yeah, good to be back. Good to be back. It certainly for me in particular really enjoyed my time away. I could spend nothing but these couple of hours talking about what a beautiful place Tanzania is, how incredible the people were, the food, and I brought Griffin back a hat. I was going to get you – I got myself a football kit. I was intending to get you one. Really, really unfortunate. So my boys and I, when we stayed at 5 different places in Tanzania. 4 or 5, I don't remember now. But the first one that we stayed at was going to be the last one that we were staying at. And so as we were at the first place, we all saw the soccer kits the football kits in the gift shop. And my boys immediately were like, well, we have to have these. And they were affordably priced, so my wife agreed and bought 3. So we were somewhere in the journey, and I was like, who would like one of these? Griffin would like one of these. I'll get him one, right? I'll get him a football kit. But I knew that I could just wait till because we were going back to the place where we got the other 3. Okay. And so there were 2 other places I could have purchased them from along the ride, but I was like, I don't need to do that. It's just more that I got to carry, and I got to. At one point, we were staying in the Serengeti. We were only allowed to have a duffel bag worth of stuff. So I was like, I don't need to carry any more stuff. I'll just, when we get back to Kilimanjaro, I'll get it. No, Arusha. When we get back to Arusha, I'll get it from the spot in Arusha. So we get back to Arusha, I go to the gift shop, and there they are. And I purchase a large football kit.
Okay.
Right? Well, I bring it back to the room. My wife picks it up and is like, "Are you out of your mind?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" She said, "Look at it." I said, "What's the problem?" She said, "Their sizes are not American sizes."
Oh, so it wasn't gonna fit.
She was like, "I bought Graham a large." My 11-year-old son. I was like, "Oh, all right." So I traipse back sheepishly, and now the language barrier on top of everything else. I'm like, "Look, I just want to switch it for a bigger size." She's like, "No problem." She goes and gets me an extra large.
Okay.
My wife, "Are you the dumbest person alive?" I'm like, "What? I got an extra large." She holds it up. She's like, "Let me try it on." She goes to try it on, and it's like tight on. Like she can't.
Gotcha. Okay.
She's like, "I bought you a 4XL." I said, "Oh, well, okay, but Griffin's skinnier than I am. Griffin and I aren't built the same. I'm, of course,
maybe I can squeeze it.
I'm shredded with muscles, obviously,
Right, yeah.
and lamb. God, I've consumed so much lamb. So I said, "Well, maybe Griffin could squeeze." She looks at me. She's like, You are the dumbest person that has ever lived." All right, so I wander back down to the gift shop, and I'm like, I guess I'll just, see if they got another. That's it. They don't have any sizes larger than XL.
Man.
So I apologize. That's why I ended up getting a hat instead of a football kit.
Okay.
I apologize for that. I did.
And you made up that story on the plane ride over, I guess?
No, when we got to the airport, I said, "You know what I'm going to do? I'll just hold on to the hat. Like, I'll just keep it. And they got to have football kits at the airport. Like, there's got to be somewhere. These airports are they're like regional airports. They're not major international airports. They're regional airports. But still, I was like, they got to have somewhere that'll have it. So I was like, what we'll do, we get to the airport a little bit early. I'll just wander out, and I'll see if I can't find a football kit at the airport. Now, we, again, God bless my mother-in-law, very kindly made sure that on all of our flights, not only were we not first class, we were business class. Plenty enough. But also that we had lounge access for all of our flights.
Wow.
Oh, it's such a game changer, man. My God, is it a game changer.
So you would have been like crammed,
Oh yeah,
elbow to
yeah.
elbow.
And again, in the Kilimanjaro
knee.
airport, it's like in Charles de Gaulle, it would have been unpleasant, but there's at least space. In Kilimanjaro, one of those numbers. So we go up there, and I swear to God, like 5 minutes before the plane's supposed to take off, I was like, "Oh right, I wanted to look for a football kit." So I dart out of the lounge. I'm like, "I will meet you guys at the gate. It's gate 4. I will see you there." And so I race towards. There's like a little tiny shopping area, food and shopping area, very small. And I race over there, and thank God, one of the gift shops has football kits.
Okay. All right, cool.
You know what old GC didn't have? His wallet.
Oh, my gosh. You couldn't have found some kind of trade? Just
Mrs. Clark was holding my wallet.
we could have plugged their
in
business
her
on the show or
purse.
something.
So I did. I attempted, truly. Enjoy your hat.
Thanks.
That's
It's a nice hat. It's a nice hat.
I
It's
got
a nice
for you.
hat. It looks cool.
By the way, I think I found out why the football jerseys were football kits were affordably made. The first A is already peeling on mine.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so it might be for the best. Might be the case. My God. What an incredible couple of weeks my family and I had. We will talk about this for the rest of our lives. I don't know. Maybe I'll write something about it at some point. I shared so many pictures and videos on social. If you missed any of them, you can go relive all of the. We saw all of the animals.
You
all of
survived,
the
yeah.
animals. Yeah. We saw leopards. We saw about 1 billion lions. I got to see
The
so
lions
many.
are just like walking around in town?
Just
or like,
walking around, not in towns. No.
Okay.
No, not in
Okay.
towns. The way that it works is like there are reserved areas. They're either national parks or like game reserves in Tanzania. And so like the first place we saw lions was in Ngorongoro, which I think part of Ngorongoro is a national park, but I also think it's like part national park, part just like game reserve. But yeah, in Ngorongoro, there's just lions. They're just wandering. They're just chilling. Like, and by the way, the first time I saw a lion, I really did freak out. Like, I freaked out. This wasn't the first one. The first one was the one that was walking between the trucks.
Okay.
Like that was this one.
This is what I was like. It almost looked like they were just like parked, and I was like,
so this is the way that it worked. They call it the Ferrari Safari, right? Like whenever there's a sighting of something significant, you'll see like all of the trucks that are out on safari will all pull up at the same time. And when we pulled up on this was one of the coolest things I've seen. These interactions, these straight up National Geographic interactions, were unbelievable. But we pull up in Ngorongoro. I don't know what I'm looking for, right? Like we just got there. It's crazy getting into Ngorongoro. You have to drive up this mountain and drive back down the side, and like it is unnerving. It is unnerving how fast these people are going on these small roads right on the edge of a mountain, right? Like it's unnerving. But we pull up in Ngorongoro. We see that there's some, trucks that are lined up to see something. We don't know what we're going to see, and all of a sudden there's just a lion casually strolling in between the trucks. And I'm like, oh my God. But it was a female lion, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. Female lions, cool. I would have been happy seeing female lions. It's a big deal to see male lions. Then that scene that you saw where there's all these zebras and they're just chilling, like they're just having a day, and then all of a sudden one lion starts creeping up to them. I'm like, dude, I watched this when I was like in fourth grade on a VHS, rolled into the room from my science teacher, and now I'm seeing it literally right in front of me. And then we had another moment in the Serengeti where there was like a pack of wildebeests, and they were debating whether or not they wanted to make their move towards a river because there were 3 lions over by the river that were actually there were more like 5 that were protecting it, and just like watching that interaction, dude, I'm sorry. I know we're supposed to be talking about the Orioles and whatever dumb, stupid shit, but God, yeah, look at all these wildebeests. All these wildebeests. They just want to get to the river. That's all. Go to the first one, whatever the first one of this.
Maybe I'm lagging a little bit.
What the hell is going on around here? The hell's been happening? Anyway, it's just special. And then we got out into the community. We got spent some time with the Maasai, and I just can't. I cannot say enough. I cannot say enough about how wonderful Tanzania is, and it was not on my list, as you guys know. I was sort of but yeah, like all these wildebeests. They're lingering. They're like, we're thirsty, but how thirsty are we? Is this the first of the set?
Yeah, it should be.
Is it? Then maybe it's the wrong one, because I definitely pan over to the protective line. Maybe try see the next video, not the next tweet, the next video. Like just click the over button.
Are you sure it's not like the end of this? You did it before.
It doesn't look like it.
Okay.
It doesn't look like it.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
I don't know. No, that's when the zebra tries to take charge. Did I forget the lions altogether in this? When I posted it on Facebook, I didn't, because my son wanted to rewatch it this morning. Oh. There they are. Yeah. All these wildebeests. There's a river right there. They're just thirsty. But there's a small problem. There's 3 lions just like chilling right there. Also, you can't see. Oh, I won't go right past it. There is a half-eaten wildebeest.
Oh my God.
Maybe 4 feet from there. I mean, it's just. Anyway, sorry. I'm telling you, I don't want to talk about the Orioles. I just want to talk about Tanzania. It's
Orioles won some ball games.
It's incredible. They won a couple.
Yeah,
they won a couple. It's incredible. But yeah, major thank you to my mother-in-law. The people of Tanzania, unreal. How great they were. Including the drivers that we had from this company, Kearsley's. We were like in tears when we were leaving because those guys were so incredible. But yeah, awesome trip. If you missed any of the content that I shared, pictures, videos, go to social at Glenn Clark Radio. And you can find all of it there, and maybe I'll combine all of it at some point and post about it. I don't know. We'll see. I got all of a sudden in my bag. I'm like, crap, I have so much work to do. Like when you're leaving for vacation, you're like, that'll all be a problem for future Glenn. That'll all be something that future Glenn can deal with. And now you're in the future, and you're like, shit. All right. Well,
I'll figure it out.
We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to choose to overreact to the Orioles finally winning 4 straight games.
Nice.
God bless them. Glad they did. 3 of them were at home against the Royals.
Good ball club.
No.
They got Bobby Witt.
They do have Bobby Witt.
They got the Pasquash.
They are not a good ball club. They are.
They knocked the Orioles out of the playoffs.
I really thought that like the Orioles and the Royals were going to be things for a little while, and as it turns out, No.
Well,
no.
yeah, the Orioles haven't really huddled up their end of the bargain.
No, but the Royals somehow worse. Just awful.
Well, that's because they just came to town and faced the Orioles.
Yeah,
so.
that's not the reason. No. I'm glad the Orioles won 4 straight. Going into the break, it's more pleasant than there being no hope. But if you're asking me today, do I think the Orioles are good? Do I like their chances? No, I don't. And no, I don't. I think they're what they are. They're a terribly flawed team. And the one thing that's held up as a theme for the first half of the season is we thought it was going to have to be the offense carrying the pitching, and as it turns out, the pitching has sort of had to carry the offense just to be relevant. So, as I said when they had that brief blip of good baseball in late May and into early June, if the pitching can hold up, and it remains a massive if, right? Because Bradish and Rogers have been pretty consistent of late. Everything else, I mean, I guess Brandon Young, although Brandon Young finally had a shaky start. Everything else is a crapshoot. When we say consistent, you still get the stinkers from Bradish in particular, which is weird.
He goes like 1 bad start, 2 like amazing starts.
Yeah.
1 bad start.
I mean,
2 amazing.
It's hard to figure that out.
He just needs an all-star break. That's all.
I hope. I hope that's what he needs. I'm just in this weird. I still can't say anything declarative about the Orioles. I can't say to you today that the Orioles' priority should be trading away Trevor Rogers and trading away Taylor Ward. I can't tell you anything declarative about the Orioles. It might very well be that it just comes down to vibes on August 2nd, right? That you get to August 2nd. I know that we always say that these teams have to make these decisions a little bit before that to fully flesh out the market, but there's a lot of activity in the final 48 hours of the deadline, so I don't know how true that is. I think you want to have an idea, within a week or two of the deadline, but, we're talking about that being about 10 days away, 7 to 10 days. I mean, 2 weeks out of the deadline next week. I think this might still remain a vibes thing all the way to August 1st, because in particular, if Trevor Rogers is pitching like this, you could make an argument. Like Taylor Ward, you could say, just hold on to Taylor Ward, because the hell are you really getting for a rental of Taylor Ward? What really are you getting? If you know you're bad, like if you know that they come out of the break and they go 0-8, then obviously you're.
How dare you say that?
But if they're in this position, it's easy to say just hold on to Taylor Ward. But the Rogers one is more complicated because pitching is always valuable. And I'm not trying to suggest that you can, change your world for trading away a rental of Trevor Rogers, but if you're in this spot and you have an asset that would be valuable, and the way that Trevor Rogers has pitched of late, he would be valuable. Not overwhelmingly so, but valuable. That's a more difficult decision to make. I'm glad the Orioles won some games. I'm really hurt for Blaze Alexander. That sucks. It sucks. Sucks beyond sucks. And the whole back and forth with him and Vinny Pasquantino, I don't care about any of that. I just don't. I don't think that Blaze Alexander was intentionally hit. I think it sucks when someone loses control. This goes back to the whole thing that led to Gunnar Henderson getting hit. This exhausts me. The people that are like, you got to throw inside at somebody. And then I'm like, shut up, man. It's just exhausting. I don't care. I don't care. I don't other than I hate it for Blaze Alexander, and obviously it sucks for the Orioles. That's a significant piece to lose. It's nice that Jeremiah Jackson has started hitting a little bit again. He's going to likely be called on a bit more. I think there's been question about, like, do you move everybody? I think you try to limit that. I don't think you try to move too much. It sucks. And you're going to need some other guys to step up. And, every time we want to believe again in Colton Cowser, being consistent and helpful, he goes back to kind of being this guy who you still like because he plays defense in the outfield, but he's just not a consistent offensive player. So I wish I had a bigger take for you related to the Orioles. I don't. They won a couple of games. Neato. I don't feel significantly different about their reality than I did when I left 2 weeks ago. Let's talk more about the reality of the Baltimore Orioles and what happens as we sit at the trade deadline, or we move towards the trade deadline. I know the guys on the Bataround were off this week, so it's good to be able to make up for it by having our friend Zach Moore, former Orioles minor leaguer, Pigtown sports creator, and host of the Bataround, back with us now here on GCR. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm all right, man. It's good to be back. I don't know. I'm in this weird place where I'm really starting to think that, like, whatever the Orioles' decisions are, we might be living in a world where some of those decisions are made on legitimately August 1st. And I say that, like, I think it's possible that next week they get an offer for Taylor Ward and they say, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and trade him. I think it's also possible that next week they the way that they traded for who's the guy from the Pirates they traded for over the weekend, Griffin, whose name already escapes me. I think they could make moves like that. But, like, what was it?
Cam something, right?
Cam Saunders, is that it?
Yes, Saunders, yeah.
I think making a broader decision, I'm starting to think that it might, like, literally be August 1st before they make, like, a broader decision about exactly what their direction is.
I think it's fair. It's probably smart, honestly, because, I mean, when you look at the pitching staff's been pitching pretty good. I mean, even if it's just a couple weeks, even losing Ryan Helsley, it's a big deal for that bullpen. The bullpen was already pretty short. Now it's even shorter. I mean, Aiken's been throwing the ball better as of late, but again, losing a guy like him, having to rely on another younger guy, now your bullpen's down 2 guys. It's just, the bullpen's been a problem since the offseason when we talked about it. And I think now it's in even a worse state, even with the starting staff being a lot better right now. With the offense and the bullpen, I'm with you. I don't think there's a reason to make a jump early. I don't think 1 or 2 guys makes this team any better either. I think you need 3 bullpen guys maybe, and then maybe another offensive player at this point, and then a starting pitcher. I mean, I could certainly see, and look, I still think they're going to be buyers and sellers. I think they're going to look to buy pieces that make the team better this year and next year, kind of like they did with Trevor Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they sell guys like Taylor Ward that help do that. But yeah, I can certainly see them waiting a good bit to the very last hour.
It's really interesting you bring up Trevor Rogers there, because I think he's the really fascinating one in this. Because and I think you and I kind of agree with Taylor Ward. If you've got an offer for Taylor Ward that's good, with no disrespect to what Taylor Ward has done this season, and thank God somebody chose to get on base, I don't think that you make a decision about Taylor Ward based on wins and losses. I think it's, if you can get something of significance or that you think is good for Taylor Ward, you're going to go ahead and make that move. I think the Rogers one is the more complicated one, because if you're truly in it, then it feels very deflating. It feels very white flag to trade away Trevor Rogers. And yet, Trevor Rogers, the way he's pitched of late, could be an actual asset. And I'm not trying to oversell that because he's still a rental piece, but the way he's pitched of late, he's a desirable asset. So I think the Rogers one is the more complicated, like, where do you need to be willing to entertain it? Where are you that you can't even think about it because of the message that you'd be sending your club? I think that the Rogers one really is quite complicated moving towards the deadline.
Me, it's a 0%. This is a guy that, even if he's not a top of the rotation arm, right? He's a quality major league starter that you want to have. It's a guy that you're going to pursue in the offseason anyway, and multiple teams are going to as well. why would you give him the opportunity to go somewhere and maybe like it better, right? Give him a contract extension. Doesn't have to be, groundbreaking or anything. I don't know what he's particularly looking for. His market value is 19 a year. Give him something in the range of 21, 22, which I think is respectable nowadays, and he's probably earned that. I mean, he's had a solid over a full season now of doing pretty much the same thing. I don't see how, even if you didn't sign him yet, right, you still have the opportunity as a qualifying offer. I think he would take 22. Is it 22 or 23 this year? Either way,
yeah.
I think he would take that.
Do you?
Are you getting back something that's as valuable as a comp pick?
You really think he would take a qualifying? I think that's where you and I depart. I don't think he would take, if he's pitching like this, I don't think there's a chance in hell he's taking a qualifying offer.
I don't think he would either, because obviously he's going to get a multi-year deal from somebody. But I'm not going to give myself an opportunity not to have him here in some capacity, in some way.
But that's what makes this so complicated to me, right? Like, if you're in this position that you're in right now, where you're sub 500, where you're in it, whether we call it 2 games, 3 games, but you're only in it because everybody's in it. Are you? And there's a real offer on the table. I get what you're saying is, hey, a qualifying offer, you can still get a draft pick. I know part of this is, hey, what is that offer? Like, you can always get something, and that's why you hold on to him. But are you chasing something that's not real if this is the position that you're in a couple of weeks?
I'm looking at next year, too. And I want to give myself an opportunity to sign Rodgers now and leave him here and, keep things working well with Basayo and Drew French. The things that are working for him in his career, keep it going. Don't allow him to go somewhere else and maybe get better or, maybe like it better. I don't want to give him an opportunity to leave and not come back. Now, I understand you can go out and just re-sign him in the offseason. That's fine. But you already have to replace Eflin. You already have to replace Bassett. Do you really want to have to also replace Trevor Rogers? Like, you're putting yourself in a no-win position, which they've done several years in a row now, getting multiple starters. I'd rather try to lock this guy up now and then try, only have to focus on one top of the rotation guy and then, maybe see what I get out of Brandon Young and Trey Gibson next year.
Yeah.
Rather than chasing 2 or 3 starters. It's tough because, cool, you get some prospects back that are probably going to be pretty good for Trevor Rogers.
And certainly you would presume it would be available more quickly to you than whatever comp pick you're getting back if he signs elsewhere on the qualifying offer.
But, prospects are still suspects.
Yes.
Trevor Rogers he's a proven pretty darn good.
Zach, I think this comes back to I'm with you in that I'm okay with signing Trevor Rogers. I'd like to sign Trevor Rogers, but presumably you've had the opportunity to have those conversations at this point, and I just don't know that holding on to someone in hopes that those vibes end up being the difference maker. And we all know that an agent is going to tell you, hey, it sucks to your vibes. We got an offer on the table and we're going to go take it. That's the part where I end up sort of I get more. It's more difficult for me. I would love for the Orioles to sign Trevor Rogers at this point because I'm with you. It doesn't solve their pitching problem, but it takes a step towards it. But if they haven't done it yet, I just don't know why I think it's going to be different at the end of September.
If you get a top 50 arm that's in AA, AAA that you have 6 years control, maybe 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I can start to see the argument, but we haven't been able to land that arm that we've been looking for years. Don't put yourself in a position to have to fill 2 of those instead of just 1. I get it. The trade back for him, it's going to have to be exceptional. I feel like most teams in a league are going to put together a pretty solid package to bring him in. He may be, I may be overstretching here, but he may be probably the most realistic top target left-handed pitcher this break. So the package would be pretty high. That's
what makes it so complicated to me, right? Because if they extend, if this win streak they take into the break turns into them winning, 8 out of 11 on the other side, then obviously we shut down this conversation altogether. But I just am not willing to buy into the idea that winning 4 and sweeping the Royals at home is a statement about things truly turning for the Orioles. And if they play basically the same type of baseball coming out of the deadline as they had for the first half, I just don't holding on to something because you're mathematically still within distance of a wild card spot, that doesn't seem wise to me strategically.
I 100% agree with you. I mean, this team's pretty flawed, but the only thing positive that I will say about it is they finally did what they were supposed to, and that is sweep the Royals
That is true,
at home.
right?
So I mean, maybe you take it with a grain of salt. But either way, I mean, they've got to be just more consistent across the board. I mean, now you're losing one of your best defenders. Obviously your hottest hitter. I mean, that's going to put a damper in two different spots on the whole team. And then you've lost 2 bullpen arms. And the hits keep coming. But I mean, you do have to look at it. All you have to do is get in, and crazier things have happened. But I mean, you still have to jump several teams. Thankfully, they get to play 2 teams right out of the break here that are ahead of them. They have a chance to move up, and then they also have a chance to just be, the season's over, right?
Yep.
Right after these next 2 seasons. So, I would say pretty much right after these 2 series here, and they're going to be huge series, especially on the road. You're going to find out a lot about what they're going to do with Trevor Rogers too.
He is Zach Moore. He's with us here on GCR. Zach, you bring up Blaze Alexander in particular. What does this look like to you now moving forward without Blaze Alexander?
Just another hole to fill.
But how?
Right, that's what I mean. Like, they've been trying to fight these holes all year and several years, really. And this guy looked like a guy that could, plug a hole for you for a good while here. And I mean, look, Mayo got a shot early in the year and didn't take it and run with it, and Blaze did. Now Mayo gets another chance. Now, obviously, he's demolishing the ball against lefties, but he gets an opportunity against righties here to kind of show maybe he's turning a corner here. Defense with Mayo, I think, was better than expected. And if he can keep that going, maybe
I think when you say the defense,
but
I think the range in particular and the instincts I agree with. It was just and not even like the arm, like the strength. We all know the strength is fine. It's just the problem that you can now understand that everybody pointed out is you just don't know for sure exactly where the throws are going when he makes them.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, he gets another opportunity to do it every day. I don't know who they bring up, whether that's going to be Encarnacion and Strand or if it's going to be Luis Vasquez. I mean, Vasquez, you at least know is going to give you a quality glove coming off the bench, but I mean, Strand can hit. But I feel like Strand and Mayo may be the same type of player. I mean, do you want to waste assets bringing somebody in too that, is going to maybe just fill a bench role for you that Luis Vasquez could do, but he's also not, I don't believe he's on the 40-man. Don't quote me on that.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right.
But either way, if you bring somebody in or if you bring him up, like you have to make another move, and they've had a rough year with it. I can't think of anybody else that they have an opportunity to bring up. And
I know there's been a little bit of rumblings now that Jeremiah Jackson has hit a little bit again going into the break. Is there any argument for doing more of a shift, having Jeremiah Jackson play second, Jackson Holiday at short, and Gunnar at third?
Maybe Jackson Holiday at third, maybe.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, they've practiced it at least a little bit this year. I don't think they've practiced Gunnar at third at all, or Holiday at short at all. So I mean, it just depends how quickly you want to kind of shuffle things around, or if you just want to kind of go with what you've already used. Has Jeremiah played third last year?
I know he played I think he played a little bit. I feel like we did this math, and it was a little bit, and we weren't impressed. But I'll double check. Hang on a second.
Yes, I mean, at worst case, maybe you have a rotation between Jeremiah, Jackson Holiday, and Kobe. Depending on matchups and whatnot.
Yeah, he played.
Obviously, with the lefty up right now,
he played
like
13. He played 13 games at third last year.
Yeah, I can't remember it was much, but I mean, maybe for a left-handed pitcher right now, you have a rotation with Jeremiah at second and Kobe at third. And then you have Holiday be able to come off the bench late game, and then you can move Jeremiah to the outfield or something like that. I mean, at least Jeremiah is a little bit athletic where he can play multiple positions. Not that Holiday can't, but I don't think they've worked on it. But just trying to find another puzzle piece that doesn't fit and try to make it fit at this point. With these injuries are just you can't catch a break with them.
No, that's I mean, among their other issues, that is their reality.
Yeah.
That is what they're dealing with. Zach, as we talk about Jackson Holiday, we finally saw some signs of life from him going into the break. Did you see anything that was different, or just like the results ended up being better?
I feel like his eye this year has gotten better at times, and then at times he realizes that he's very valuable just hitting a ball up the middle or hitting it to left field instead of trying to hit it 500 feet to the right side. I don't know if that's an organizational philosophy with him and among others, but it does look like sometimes he's trying to hit the warehouse. But I mean, when he stays up the middle, his hands are fast. They're strong. He's a smart kid. When he finally realizes that I can be the guy that can just spray the ball around the field and run for doubles and triples all day, I think he's going to be an excellent hitter. Granted, he's still very young, 10th youngest player in the league, I believe. As long as he just keeps getting better in some capacity. I feel like the defense has gotten a little bit better this year. The range has gotten just maybe a step better, which is, hey, we're making strides here. I feel like his instinct has gotten better. But, I mean, the hitting-wise, there's times where he looks like it's finally figured out, and then it goes back to, like,
right,
let me swing over and, fall over and stuff like that. The consistency part hasn't been there that you would want to see out of him just yet. I don't want to keep saying that, we have time, because you do, because he's young, but yes, we are approaching 1,000 career bats kind of thing. But then you look at a guy like Jordan Walker, right? He's had 3 years in the big leagues, and it just finally clicked this year. So everybody is different. I just want to keep seeing Jackson kind of just do the little things right. Stay up the middle of the field, use left center gap, use left field line for all I care. He's got wheels. We know it. Just hit it and run a little bit. We know you can hit power. Just hit it when you need to.
Yeah. Get on base. Like, just get on base. That's what we're looking for. That's the reality.
Do you feel like the game is changing a little bit back to the old school way of getting guys on base?
Well, are you saying that because of the Brewers, right? Like, this is the part.
It's not just the Brewers anymore.
You're right. It's not the Orioles, right? Like, it's a lot of other teams. Somebody made this argument to me earlier this year. That this is everybody zigged, so now a couple of teams are starting to zag again, and I don't know. I don't know what your thought was about Eric Booth, but it was interesting to me that, like, they didn't take another Vance Honeycutt, they didn't take another Enrique Bradfield, right? Like, I do wonder if maybe everybody realized there was a bit of an overcorrection, and so now they're trying to get back to the mean a little bit, at least, like a little bit more towards the mean. I'm not ready because you still see a lot of swinging out of your shoes, so I'm not fully ready to say that, like, it's back. But I know why you're asking the question, and I think that there's a louder conversation being had around baseball about perhaps an overcorrection towards, hey, why are we pretending like it's a bad thing for someone to go backside and get a base hit? It's like, why do we hate Luis Arias? Why do we hate this guy? All he does is hit, and we're not willing to give him any money at all to play baseball, and all he's going to do for you is come in and constantly get base hits and be on base.
Yeah. I mean, the game kind of pushed out Hanser Alberto, remember?
Oh,
He had getting on base.
Absolutely.
And then just didn't play really much anymore after that.
God, man.
But yeah, I mean, I would love to see, especially us kind of adopt, like you said, a means approach there, kind of a bit of both.
Yeah.
Because there's several guys on this team that can drive backside and stretch a double pretty easily. And I'd love to see it just a little bit more. And I think it would get the offense a little bit more back on track compared to what it is. This offense should be a lot better than it is, especially with the pitching coming around. I mean, they fix that. I think they can get themselves back into the conversation.
I agree with you, but like they're running out of time, man. Like, it has to happen ASAP. It has to be immediate for that to be the case. What'd you think of the Derby?
I thought it was good. I mean, I still like the outs over the swing, but I mean, at least with the last pitch being kind of considered like an out, I thought that was kind of cool. I thought it'd be electric. Philly fans were. Yeah. I thought it was neat how they booed everybody because it kind of made you feel like an away game, like a playoff game almost. I felt like they were into it. Was cool
here's my quick hot take. I think the format was fine. I don't think it was as good. I think people are reacting to the atmosphere and allowing that to influence. I think the format was fine, but I don't think it's like they solved the home run derby. I think the atmosphere made it electric. I think that's why everyone enjoyed the home run derby so much last night, was just because the atmosphere was awesome.
They didn't hit many home runs with the maroon ball, did they? Maybe, what was it, 2 or 3?
I don't remember there being a whole lot.
Yeah, I don't think it was until that final round with Schwarber and Walker.
Yeah, I felt like it wasn't many at all. And I don't know if it's like the change of color messed them up.
Wow, that's an interesting thought, right? Like, that is an interesting thought.
Yeah.
That, like, when you're so used to seeing one thing that all of a sudden, I didn't thought of
somebody pointed out. So last year when they were doing the time thing, there was like 270 home runs hit or something. And the same time for about 2.5 hours. Last night there was only 130.
And yet everybody seemed to enjoy it a great deal.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I think that's just. I don't think that you can assume that replicates in every city, because I don't know that you're going to have a Bryce Harper and a Kyle Schwarber participating in every home city.
Right.
Or
but when you come to Baltimore, you're going to have Pete and Basayo.
It's a great point. That is a great point. If they ever come to Baltimore. Remind everybody where they're finding you, Zach.
Pretty much any social media site, Pigtown Sports.
That's the place. And, of course, the Bataround Sunday nights with us here at Press Box. Always appreciate you, brother. Let's talk again real soon, all right?
All right. Take care.
Thanks, buddy. Zach Moore, former Orioles minor leaguer, Pigtown Sports. That's where you find him. I don't want to spend a lot of time on the home run derby, because I'm not going to pretend like I was, enthralled.
That's right.
In fact,
you were watching Raw, so
I wasn't. You know what the real story of my night was? I was still on Africa time, so
it was like
I was struggling to keep
3
my
a.m.?
eyes open.
Okay.
Yes, I was struggling to keep my eyes open. I woke up at 6 o'clock today. It's going to take me a couple days to fully adjust back. Like, it's going to be very difficult. It was. As I was watching, I thought it was entertaining, but truth be told, for the first couple of rounds, like, I thought it was meh. I thought it was kind of ho-hum. And then obviously you had this exhilarating final round and, down to his last, what?
Yeah, it was down to his last,
down to his final swing,
I think
right?
He needed 4 to tie, or he ended up hitting 4.
He had 4 swings left, and he was down 3.
He was down to his final swing. And he had to hit.
And then he had to keep. That's right. That's exactly
homers.
right. He had to keep hitting, and he did.
Yeah.
Which
was electric.
Yeah, it created, and obviously everybody's booing him, and it created a great scene. I don't think it was quite as good as everybody's. I think that's it was what we were watching, so we're going to talk about it that way afterwards. I don't think it was quite as great as the way that everybody's describing it. But I think that if you can, whatever the rules are, if you get a scenario like you had last night where a home city has legitimate superstars, legitimate mega stars they can get behind, and everybody else becomes a villain, because otherwise no one knows, with all respect, no one knows who these guys are. No one knows who Ben Rice is.
Definitely don't know who he is after last night.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. But, it was, as far as star power goes, it sucked. Outside of, thankfully, the guys that play in Philadelphia stepped up and were like, all right, if we're in Philadelphia, I should participate in this thing. That's all I got for you. I don't have any magical.
You were just
takeaways.
mad that Barry Bonds was on the.
No, you know what I was mad about? I was
studio
mad
or
that
something?
my home television, Netflix, I couldn't get the home run derby on it. They thought I was on a VPN for some reason. Ironically, I used lots of VPNs over the last couple of weeks, but not on my home television.
They finally
on my phone and on my laptop, and yet I was able to watch it on my phone, not on my TV. I'm very annoyed by technology. We'll come back in. The draft was this weekend, and so was the futures game. We'll talk about those things with our buddy Jim Callis from MLB.com next. It's Glenn Clark Radio.
This is Stan the Fan. You know we talk all the time about our O's stepping up in the big moments, delivering when it matters most. If you've been injured in a car accident anywhere around Baltimore, that's your big moment, and you need someone who delivers. That's why I'm here to tell you about Warnken Injury Lawyers. They fight for Baltimore families every single day. Insurance companies play games. Warnken plays to win. So call 443-RESULTS. That's 443-RESULTS, or go to warnkenlaw.com. MLBDraft.com. When you need results, it's right there in the number 443-RESULTS.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
When you feel invisible, exhausted, stressed, or anxious, when you have days that just feel too hard to get through, you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health or problems with drugs or alcohol, help is right in your hands. Call or text 988 to get support whenever you need it. Help is here. Call or text 988. Brought to you by Maryland Department of Health.
The stars are shining brighter at Live Casino this summer. Celebrate America's 250th with $1 million. Earn entries daily July 1st through August 29th and snap a pic with our game board for a chance to win $100 in free play every week. We'll draw 50 free play winners each Saturday and $1 million winner on August 29th. Light it up at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Pressbox is available now. On the cover, Dave LaMonaco profiles Orioles play-by-play voice Kevin Brown, looking at his rise as an amiable mainstay and one of the top voices in all of baseball. Also inside, Antonio Barbera looks at whether the championship window is narrowing for the Ravens veteran core, and our special travel section with a look at sports tourism options throughout Maryland for you and your family to enjoy this summer. Pressbox is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
All right, back in here on GCR as we continue along here on a Monday edition of the program. All summer long, countysports.zone is where you turn for everything related to high school sports news as we get ready for the start of fall sports season, football, soccer. They've got you covered. Countysports.zone, proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. I have the other baseball note that I had on the list for today. I don't know, did you see the story from Jeff Passan this morning about the Olympics?
Yeah, I saw part of it. I didn't.
So apparently the players have actually, like the owners have agreed. I thought this was never going to work, but apparently the owners have agreed that they're going to be willing to pause the season for, I think, 11 days. They would do an all-star game. I think the word is in San Francisco. And then the players would go down to L.A. to participate in the Olympics. But now there's an issue with the Players Association and making sure the players are taken care of in order for them to be in the Olympics. But you would like to think those are the types of – I thought the owners would, in the end, be the reason why it didn't happen.
Right, taking a chunk of the season away.
And I'm still confused as to what's the give here. Is the give that the season's going to start in mid-March? Because I can't believe the owners are giving up. I can't believe they're saying, well, we'll do 152 next in 2028. I can't believe that would be the answer. So I still need to know more about how they're going to make it work, but apparently it's happening. The only thing that jumped off the page at me, and I've been told now by Avi Miller that apparently this was the case in 2021, and we just didn't pay attention because there weren't any baseball players playing in it. They're doing a 6-team.
Oh, there's
6 teams.
Huh.
Get the F out.
What if they?
With respect, no.
That's up to the Olympic Committee, I guess, to change that at
Yeah.
this point.
If I'm Major League Baseball, you say, we're happy to participate if you have an actual tournament. Because this is nothing. And I get that that's probably a concession they made. We'll keep it to 6 teams in order to limit the number of games that we have to play, in order to make sure that it doesn't disrupt you guys too much. But that's bogus. I know that I've used the S word a couple times today, and I normally try not to cuss on this show because, like some people do want to listen with their kids. That's bull S. That is not that nothing about that is okay. That's not a baseball. Spare me. That's an exhibition. And I get it. You can say, hey, well, those are probably going to be the 6 teams it comes down to anyway. I don't care. That's not legitimate. The World Baseball Classic isn't legitimate. A 6-team, fun exhibit, none of this is legitimate. And I know that you can say, well, you got to qualify for the Olympics, but it's not the same players that are involved in qualifying. The tournament is the part with the Olympians. Make it real. Or just don't do it. Just don't. 6 teams. Kiss my ass. And that's 6 teams with or without major leaguers, by the way. They just said that we're going to have 6. What? 6?
How many is lacrosse having?
I actually don't know the answer to that. I'm going to guess more because they can play every day because it's 6s. Like, they don't.
Yeah.
Although you would think baseball could play every day.
No, they're baseball players. It's tough.
Yeah, what the hell is going on? Maybe it is only. I actually don't know the answer.
And they said the tournament's going to last. So they're doing a 6-team tournament that's going to last. Not the entire.
They said they were
duration.
going to pause 11 days. So.
Okay, so it'd be like.
But I don't know if that means they're planning on playing 11 days or if you need like 2 days to get ready for it. So it's really like a 8 or a 9. Because I think the lacrosse might actually only be in like 9 days.
Okay. So
we'll be in the Olympics. They might actually play twice a day though in lacrosse. That's possible because they're 1-hour games.
Let's see. It looks like they're doing
16. No,
12. Or wait, yeah.
I see 16.
6 men's teams, 6 women's teams. Yeah.
For lacrosse.
Yeah.
That's what you see.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Bull.
6 sixes. 6 sixes.
This is bogus. Now that's the only thing I'll say there is that the qualifying will be a little bit more legitimate because it's the actual players that'll be participating in the qualifying, for the most part. If you're using major league players in the Olympics and they're not participating in the qualifying, then the qualifying isn't legitimate. No is the answer. This is bogus. Ted thinks I'm complaining about everything. Am I complaining about everything?
Well, yeah.
I think I just talked about how I had the most magical 2 weeks of my life the last 2 weeks. I think that a 6-team tournament is bogus.
Complaining about everything.
And to present me your argument as to how a 6-team event isn't bogus.
You're complaining about the guy who thinks
half of the. Imagine celebrating winning the bronze medal match. You were the middle team in this tournament.
You were the 4th worst.
And you're going to celebrate winning the bronze medal?
Well, yeah, you got a bronze medal.
Nonsense. Had to do this a little bit earlier on because of his schedule, but an opportunity to catch up with our guy, Jim Callis, right here on GCR. Well, of course, coming off not just draft weekend, but also futures game weekend. Always a man that we look to talk to about all of these types of topics. He is a man you know from MLB Network, MLB.com, and MLB Pipeline. He's our friend Jim Callis, and he's back with us now here on GCR. Jim, it's Glenn. It's great to chat with you as always. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Oh, yeah. Glad to be here.
Jim, I just want to ask you this question generically because there was a lot of attention paid to, and it didn't start very early, but, still kind of earlier than usual, the sheer number of pitchers that the Orioles drafted this year. Do you make anything of, like, the argument that this is a sea change versus they just happened to take some pitchers?
Wait, but they took 3 pitchers in the first 8 rounds, so now they're pitching heavy? But no, that's not a sea
To be fair, that's more than 0, Jim.
That's true. And, last year they took Joseph Giroux and JT Quinn. They had multiple picks in the second round and took 2 guys. No, I was like, where are you going with this? I'm looking at their draft. I see 1 pitcher in the first 5 rounds. Yep. I just think, and again, I haven't had this conversation with Mike Elias, so I'm extrapolating a little bit here. When he was with the Astros, you look at all the success they had. They took guys early in the draft like Forrest Whitley and Brady Aiken, and that didn't work out. And most of the best pitchers on their good clubs were either mid-round draft picks, really cheap international signs that they did a great job on, and they went out and traded. Like, people forget this. Justin Verlander, Zach Greinke, and Garrett Cole, who are probably gonna be 3 Hall of Famers one day.
Yeah.
So I just think the mindset is like we have like this regime has not had success drafting pitchers in the first round, and the Astros really all the success they had when Mike was there didn't really have any first round pitchers. I mean, Lance McCullers was a supplemental first round, not a true first rounder. But I think that was kind of one of the secrets to the Astros' success, is they were able to find pitching without spending a lot of draft capital on it. The flip side of that argument is
the Orioles
what
have not
works one place
replicated
doesn't
that.
always work the other place.
And I think that's the part, Jim, that we all keep coming back to. Like, the Orioles have not been able to replicate that success. And it's not as if, look, a stealth trade for Kyle Bradish that has clearly worked through injuries. Trevor Rogers has worked more than it hasn't, but they have not.
Corbin Burns was good while they had him.
For a year, right? Exactly right.
Yeah.
They have not been able to replicate the success the Astros had in finding pitching that route. Are you surprised that, particularly given the kind of how up against it they appear to be as an organization at the moment, that they haven't considered exploring another strategy for making pitching work?
I don't know. Like this, and to be fair, this would not have been the year to make it work. We had what was it? 2 pitchers taken in the top 20 picks. I mean, there was some depth in pitching, but like certainly at number 7, unless Jackson Flora from UC Santa Barbara was there, and I honestly that would have been interesting because I don't know that I believe that I will believe the Orioles will take a pitcher in the first round when they take him. I don't know that they would have taken Jackson Flora necessarily. Like maybe if Paul Skeens was there at 7 or something. But like this wasn't a draft where you want to force it. I think the more interesting thing is you look at the guys they've taken in a lot of the recent drafts have been these tooled up guys with questions about their ability to make contact or have impact at the plate.
And they're not getting better.
But I'm saying they didn't go that route this year with their first 2 picks. So with Eric Booth Jr., who I know we'll talk about these guys, is a quality athlete, but he's got aptitude. And Ty Head stands out. He's one of the best bat to ball guys, and he has tools in college baseball. So I think to me, that was kind of the difference compared to what they've done in the past.
He is Jim Callis. He's with us here on GCR. You brought him up, so let's go there. We'll start with Eric Booth. They go the high school route this time with a bat. Obviously, a bat has always been their first-round pick in the Mike Elias read, but a high school bat has not always been the case. Clearly, Jackson Holiday was. Like, it's not as if they haven't done that, but it hasn't always been high school bats. What is it that you think they see in Eric Booth? And where does he fit?
Yeah, so Eric Booth, I mean, the first thing that stands out is the athleticism and the speed. He was like, I don't know if he was the flat out fastest player in the draft. He's probably flat out the fastest, like, quality prospect in the draft, I guess is the way I would put it. But it's not this. I don't want to dump on Enrique. He's not Enrique Bradfield Jr. We aren't wondering, hey, how much impact is he going to have at the plate? Is he going to hit 5 homers a year? Is he going to get the bat knocked out of his hands? He isn't that type of guy. Like, Enrique's faster. Eric Booth is more of a 70 runner rather than Enrique's 80 on the 20 to 80 scale. And, he's, Mississippi high school kid, so he hasn't faced the best competition. So he is going to need some polish, but he's shown hitting ability on the showcase circuit. It's a little bit of an unconventional swing, but he makes a lot of contact. He hits the ball hard. He's got bat speed. I think we could safely say 20 homers, 20 homer potential. He won the home run derby at the Perfect Game All-America Classic last July. Not that we're drafting guys off home run derbies. He still needs some more polish on the bases and in the field, but like, this guy should be a base stealer. He should be a quality center fielder. And I keep telling the story. One of the things that really impressed me about him is, so like, your center fielder, like for most positions, but center fielder in particular, your least important tool is what? It's the arm. It doesn't really matter. And he had a below average arm last summer. And it really wouldn't have, like, I still think he probably would have been the number 7 overall pick if he still had a below average arm. And that's not like, you weren't going to rocket up draft boards. Hey, he's throwing better. But he actually spent a lot of time on a throwing program to improve his arm strength because it was the weakest part of his game. And he now has an average arm. And, it's like, I don't want to be like old man Callis. These kids these days, they don't work. It wasn't like he was going out and dedicating a lot of time to something that was going to improve his draft stock. Most guys, it's like, okay, I want to see how hard I can hit the ball or how hard I can throw off the mound. And that just really impressed me. So I think this is a kid who gets it. And it's not, he is toolsy and he is fast, but there is aptitude there. There are bat to ball skills. and he has some impact in the bat too. So I thought that was a fairly obvious pick. Like it's funny the way the draft was unfolding, and we started to figure out who was going where. The Orioles pick was going to be one of two guys on Saturday. They were either going to get Eric Booth, and there was talk that he could have gone 4, 5, 6 range. And I think if Eric Booth was gone, they were probably going to take Drew Burress, who wound up going with the pick right after him out of Georgia Tech. So I'm not saying the draft is easy, but like that decision, I was here in the final week, Booth or Burress, Booth or Burress, Booth or Burress in that order. And then, it would have been interesting, I guess, had both of them gone off the board. But and then we would have had the case where, hey, Jackson Flores sitting there 7. Are they going to take a pitcher?
Again, I would have believed it when I saw it, and not until then. You mentioned Ty Head. Tell me a little bit about him.
Yeah, he was going back 3 years ago when he was coming out of high school. I'm sorry, 2 years ago because he's sophomore eligible. He was one of the best all-around athletes, and he could have probably been a 3rd-round pick. But it was one of those deals where, what he was going to get and his desire to go to NC State, it just didn't quite line up. And he has elite walk rates, elite strikeout rates. It's like a selectively aggressive approach, controls the zone, attacks strikes. He doesn't chase. He doesn't swing and miss. He has a big leg kick, so the timing of his swing gets off. So he's only a 283 hitter in 2 years at NC State. And I think it's like, you don't want to talk about, we got to, overhaul this or change that. But I think in this case, because the bat to ball ability is so good, I'm not worried if they kind of try to do some things that it's going to throw him off. And I think there's a better hitter in there once he kind of streamlines things at the plate a little bit, I guess the best way to put it. But he's, plus runner, really good center fielder. I had some people tell me they thought he was the best center field defender in the draft. It's 20/20 upside. It'll be interesting, if both these guys develop as you hope, I'd be curious because they're both center field. They're both no doubt center fielders. It'll be very curious to see who winds up playing in center field.
Jim Callis with us on GCR. We mentioned that they did go pitcher in the 3rd round. That was the first time they did, and the numbers don't look great. For those of us that obviously do not pay attention the way that the Jim Callises of the world pay attention, all we can do is go look at someone's stats and we say, ooh, Dominic Vogel, 5.85 ERA, 1.4 whip. Now, we know Will Robertson over the weekend said, hey, look, this is college baseball, and there is no doubt that you're talking about a different type of bat. You're talking about a different world in college baseball, but still, what should we know about Dominic Vogel that maybe the numbers don't necessarily tell the full story?
Well, the numbers I think the Orioles would point to would be the 120 strikeouts in 97 innings, and that was a Kansas record. And, this is a guy who was Big 12 Conference Freshman of the Year. He was pitched for Team USA after his freshman year. And there's stuff there. He just doesn't always use it effectively. I know, especially I had a scout I talked to who doesn't have Kansas. Did I say K-State? He set the Kansas record with 120 strikeouts. He doesn't have Kansas, but he had a Big 12 game. And he's like, why is this guy? His ERA was 8 at midseason. And he was like, why is Vaguely getting hit like he is? Because it's 93, 96 to 98. Now, the fastball needs some work in terms of pitch design. It's kind of a straight fastball, and he doesn't command it well. So even if you're throwing 93 to 98, if you leave it over the middle of the plate, it gets whacked. So that's kind of his biggest problem. He can throw strikes with it. He doesn't command it well. He's got a low 80s curveball, a downer break. He's got a tighter, harder slider. Changeup needs some work, but there's arm strength, there's field of spin. He's athletic. He's kind of in that sweet spot size-wise, 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", which, just talking to scouts, like you don't want the big physical monsters who have the long levers and it's hard to sync things up. You don't want the small guys who maybe can't, have the endurance. So he's kind of right in that sweet spot. But I think on the upside part, Glenn, you're looking like, hey, we can help this guy and make him a starter, an effective big league starter. And I think the floor is a pretty high floor in that, look, if we can't, then he's a relief pitcher who's going to throw a lot of breaking balls, but it's good breaking balls.
Tell me about anybody else from the Orioles class that was particularly interesting to you that stood out, maybe?
Yeah, they had got a couple those athletes, like Kevin Roberts is that kind of classic Orioles. Hey, he's a great athlete, and we don't know if he can hit kind of profile. They took him in the 4th round. I think there were 1st-round aspirations coming in. He's a 3-sport star. He's 6'5", 215. I don't even think he turns 18. I'm looking at it. He does turn 18 for 2 more weeks, so he's super young. It's a huge ceiling. It's just he struggled with the bat on the showcase circuit, which is why he went in the 4th round. Will Plunkett, the 8th rounder, is another outstanding athlete. Shortstop. Could have some power coming. Right hand swings good. New York high school kids, not the greatest competition. He's pretty interesting. And then on the college side, I a bunch of these guys are interesting. Jimmy Anderson's from Heartland Community College, 5th rounder. A couple of years ago, they had a scrappy middle infielder named Sam Antonacci, who's now in the big leagues with the White Sox. And this guy hits right-handed. Antonacci hits left-handed. He probably has a little bit better tools. But if you no, it's junior college stats, so I wouldn't go crazy. But he hit 465 with a 544 on base, a 1030 slugging percentage that led all Division II JUCO players, and hit 26 homers in 59 games. He's got decent pop. He can run a little bit. So he's kind of an aptitude, gritty middle infield type.
You brought up Joseph Zerwa a little bit earlier, and there has been so little that has come through the pipeline for the Orioles pitching wise over the years that I almost never choose to get excited about any of it, Jim. I almost sort of say, well, to the same point, until it works, I'm just going to assume that none of it's going to work. Now, to be fair,
but at least he's doing it in Double-A. He's down to Double-A,
and that's sort of where I'm like, is it time for me to start saying, hey, this might be legitimate? What the Orioles have in Joseph Zerwa?
Yeah, I think you could say that. Again, it's so he was a 2nd round pick in last year's draft out of Michigan State. I want to say, unless I'm remembering this wrong, the highest drafted pitcher out of Michigan State since Mark Mulder. Now, Mark Mulder was the number 2 overall pick, so I'm not saying he's going to be Mark Mulder. And I believe
I was pretty okay.
He's the highest drafted pitcher Mike Elias has had, right?
Yes.
Since he took over the club. We just added him to top 100 prospects list. He's number 100. He was our most recent ad. And I'm with you because you want the fact he's doing Double-A is interesting. So when they took him in the 2nd round, I was really interested because he's kind of a nightmare. He's 6'8", but like I was talking before about body control, he has good body control and he has good command for a guy who's 6'8". It's unusual, and it's a low 3/4 arm slot, so it's a super wide angle that makes the fastball tough. It's only 90 to 95 most of the time, but it has good life. It's coming out of this low angle. And then his best pitch by far is his changeup, which is a low 80s pitch with a lot of life to it that works against righties and it works against lefties too. The question is, because it's a low slot, it's harder to stay on top of breaking pitches. And so the slider and cutter are kind of fringy-ish. So that was and he throws a lot of strikes. So my question coming in was, okay, he's a super interesting guy. He had a lot of success. He was a Big Ten Conference Pitcher of the Year last year. But how's this stuff going to play? Because sometimes the guys who don't spin it great get hit in pro ball. And so far, the fastball changeup combinations worked really well, and the breaking stuff's been good enough to get by. And he's throwing a ton of strikes and missing a ton of bats. And honestly, at the rate he's developed, I think we're realistically looking, some point next year, if he keeps this up, he's going to be ready for the big leagues. Wow. I don't know. Well, if he keeps this up, because he's made is it 9 starts or 9 outings in Double-A already?
Yeah,
he might spend August and September in AAA and then, be ready at some point next year. But so far it's been good. The lack of spin, is still a concern, but it hasn't affected him so far. And he's been a lot more dominant. I liked him than I thought he necessarily could be.
The other Orioles prospect that was part of the Futures game was Ike Irish, who, I don't want to say has ripped the cover off the ball, but he seems to be on the trajectory that you would want him to be on, correct?
Yeah, I think Ike Irish has been exactly what we thought he was going to be. I didn't think they were going to have him play McCatcher. They drafted Caden Bodine, although they traded him as well, but they have Rutschman and Basayo in the big leagues. And while you can develop guys in the minors and move them later, most of the scouts I talked to last year were like, let this guy hit, maximize the bat, doesn't really want to catch, don't force that. We thought he was one of the better offensive players in the college ranks last year. He hits for average, he hits for power, he draws walks, and he's doing all that. That's a guy I would suspect very soon that they'd probably put him in Double-A. Yep. I don't know if there's a whole lot left for him to prove out there. And he has solid arm strength. He moves, well enough in the corner outfield. But yeah, he's one where I think he's been exactly what we thought he'd be, to be honest with you. He very good performance, but it's probably time to see what he does in Double-A now.
And then just because I do want to bring up Nate George being the top still of your Orioles prospects at MLBpipeline.com. Again, it seems like a kind of a similar story, right? He came on out of nowhere, lit the world on fire, but since then he's just continued to kind of perform at a level that makes us say, yeah, there is a there with Nate George.
Yeah, and he's been banged up this year, so he's only played 20 games in high A, but he's performed, not driving the ball for as much power this year, but against 20 games, I wouldn't read too much in that. And just our lists are a little weird. So we did our lists back in late February, early March. We have not updated them yet. The only updates are if a guy graduates to the big leagues,
then we'll
pull him off and we'll replace him. Or if somebody, and it's similar to how Jirwa made the top 100 prospects list, and Ike Irish too has joined the list since the beginning of the season. I'm not so sure that when we overhaul these lists, we're actually going to update the top 10s before the trade deadline, then update the whole list and add draft picks and all that. Nate George probably won't be the number one prospect at that point. I don't do the Orioles list. Jonathan Mayo does. I'll be curious. Like I would think Eric Booth would probably be number one at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But how you line up Jirwa, George, and Irish, I'm kind of interested to see what he does with that. But yeah, I don't think there's any reason to be less bullish on Nate George. He's missed a bunch of the season. And so we haven't seen him be as electric as he was last year, but no, he's legit.
And then is there anyone else right now in the system who perhaps has caught your eye, you're paying a little bit more attention to?
I will say, I mean, not that I didn't think he was a good player, because I mean he was a Golden Spikes Award winner and he went fairly high. I think he was the Orioles had so many picks I lose track. I think he was a supplemental first round pick. Yeah. But Hiva Loy, I mean he's another guy who's hitting very well in high A. I mean I would think he's probably going to get to double A pretty soon. So that one's kind of opened my eyes a little bit. Luis De Leon got off to a little bit of a slow start, but he's pitching better. I just strike throwing for him. He's obviously a very talented guy. Boston Bateman has looked intriguing. JT Quinn, the other pitcher they took high last year, has pitched well in high A. So yeah, I feel like overall it feels like it's been a good year for the system, and we haven't done our farm system rankings yet. And I don't know how those will shake out. But I was talking to somebody else about the Orioles, and it's like, and I'm not criticizing the trade. Like if they don't make the Shane Baz trade, their farm system looks a lot better because Caden Bodine's tearing it up.
Yeah.
And they traded Slater DeBrun, and Michael Ferret's pitching well. And I forget who the fourth player was in the trade. But anyway, I understand why they made the trade, trying to find pitching. And I'm not even criticizing the trade. But when we do the farm system rankings, you could certainly make the case that they would rank even higher. I mean, the point of the farm system is to help the big league club. So that's why they made the trade. But if they don't make that trade, the farm system is going to look a lot stronger.
I'll wrap with this, Jim, because I still don't know that it's wise for the Orioles to even consider buying. I know they won 4 straight going into the deadline, but they were playing the Royals at home. Like I don't want to overreact to that. I still don't think they're a very good team. That said, if there's anything that I would be interested in, it would be controllable pitching, right? Like I think you always need controllable pitching. Joe Ryan, if he's available, has got to be the top pitcher available because of that, right? Like because he has another year of control. Do the Orioles have enough that like if there was a bidding war that they could even get into that water, or am I wasting my time hoping for that?
No, I mean you could, and I mean who knows? I mean I get what you're saying, like, and I agree with you. Like you're almost kind of like better. Like if they make a move, it should be to serve 27, but also the future. It shouldn't just be let's go get Scooble and he's gone at the end of the year. That'd be full. But no, I mean, again, I'm not saying they would do this. It's like, how comfortable are you giving up? Like, would you give up one of Nate George and Ike Irish? Would you give up one of Jirwa or Luis De Leon? Would you give up a third prospect? I mean, they have, like, most teams have the ammunition to go get just about anyone, except for maybe the very worst farm systems. It just, are you willing to put Boston Bateman in that deal? Like how much of a stomach do you have? And again, I don't know. I'm always terrible at predicting what guys are going to get land in trades, like what the going rate for Joe Ryan would be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would think it'd probably cost you 2 pretty good prospects.
You would think.
And a decent third one. So I'll ask you, Glenn, if I'm the Twins, I'm like, okay, you want Joe Ryan, Glenn. Give me Ike Irish, Luis De Leon, and Hiva Loy. or Boston Bateman?
My answer would be,
that?
if you're not extending Adley Rutschman and you're not trading him away, then go do it, because you need 2027 to be your year. You need to have this. Now, if you're going to extend Adley Rutschman, if you're trading him this year, that's a different conversation. But if you're just holding on to Adley Rutschman going into 2027 and hoping for the best, then you need to do everything in your power to load up that roster for 2027. So my answer would then be yes in that scenario, Jim.
So anyway, they do have the ammunition. It would take a bite out of their farm system. Probably not. I feel like you get more for guys in the offseason when like they the Rays did for Boz, but it would take a significant bite out of the system.
Jim, what all can I plug for you, sir?
Just we got all kinds of coverage coming. I was alluding, we're still kind of wrapping up draft stuff, and we're going to update our top 10s, I think, by the end of next week, which seems daunting. And then we'll have signings coverage, draft deadline coverage. We'll have a new top 100 list and overhaul the top 30s. And that's all at MLB Pipeline, which is part of MLB.com. And because we're part of MLB.com, it's all free. None of it's behind a paywall. And then on Twitter at Jim Callis MLB, I do try to keep up with the signings, and I try to tweet a lot of the stuff we're doing. I feel like we have another month of hard work ahead, and then it slackens up a little bit, and we can enjoy the pennant races. And a little bit more relaxed atmosphere. But we got a lot coming over the next month.
We are hoping there will be such a thing here in Baltimore, but we are not sure if that's going to be the case or not. Jim, always appreciate you. Know how insanely busy you are this time of year. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Great talking to you. Thanks, Glenn.
Yeah, great stuff from Jim Callis. As always, appreciate him taking the time for us to tell us a little bit more about what the Orioles did in the draft. We continue along here on a Tuesday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. The new season of Quarterback on Netflix debuts today. And part of that season is someone that we, of course, think quite highly of, longtime friend of ours, and a man you may know better as the MVP of Super Bowl 47, which comes up in this season of Quarterback. He is, of course, Bengals quarterback and former Baltimore Raven. The great Joe Flacco is back with us now here on GCR. Joe, it's Glenn. It's great to catch up with you, man. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Yeah, man, no problem. How we doing?
Everything is good, dude. How's I've got so much that I haven't caught up with you about. Like, how many kids are you at this point?
I got 5. They're all my youngest is 8 years old at this point, so we're kind of we're out all the young stuff and on to our next phase. So
what about the respect that bothered me? I remember seeing the clip of you when you were doing the interview with Aditi, I think last summer or the summer before.
Yeah.
And you got absolutely zero respect from your kids. Has that changed at all? Like, did winning a Thursday night football game, did it give you like funny. A little bit of all right, maybe Dad's still pretty cool?
Yeah, well, listen, I have a fun relationship with them. So, those things are kind of going back and forth between us all the time.
Yeah.
But when you look into their eyes, you can tell the respect is there. I don't know if they'll ever admit that, but I know it.
You know what? I've got 2 boys. They're 9 and 11. I know a thing or two about that. I'm not a Super Bowl champion, but I know a thing or two about that. All right, so I bring this up because a lot of people – I have not had a chance to watch the season yet. I'm really excited about it. But I saw this clip that Netflix shared, and a lot of people have. Obviously, you can't see it because you're on the phone, but I think you'll be able to heir it. I'm going to let everybody else see it. It involves.
I'm assuming it's the one when we played in Baltimore.
No, it's not. It's the trophy.
Okay.
It's the trophy that I got a kick out of because it feels so very you. For those that haven't seen it yet, this is Joe with the Super Bowl 47 MVP trophy. This is courtesy of Netflix, the new season of Quarterback that's available today.
Super Bowl MVP trophy. I mean, it's tarnished as heck. It's been in my dad's place. Like, nobody's touched this in 12 years, 13 years. These are things that you think you're going to care about, like, a lot. And I guess, like, the idea is like, oh, yeah, that'd be cool to have, like, a little office and put some things up. And then you ultimately don't really care that much about it. Like this ring, for instance, I think my kids like to look at it. I think that's ultimately what it's for.
All right.
This is my Super
Bowl.
All
right. This is the most Joe Flacco thing of all time. Have you really just You let your dad hold on to the MVP trophy and didn't care about it for a decade.
Well, it's funny because it's not like I don't care about those things. I do care about them, but I feel like I remember thinking that I would actually care about displaying the hardware. I care about the accomplishments, but I don't care about the hardware of it as much as I would have anticipated. You know what I mean?
Okay. I actually can understand this.
And I think at a certain point it will be cool to have the hardware as well. But I think you can kind of play those things up in your mind maybe a little bit more than you make more of it than it actually is.
Was there a point in your life where you actually didn't know where it was? Like, did it ever come up in conversation?
I kind of always knew where it was generally. You know, like I knew it was at my parents' house, but I'm not sure. I'm sure when I got that out for the show, I was like, "Hey, Dad, you do have that, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think it's in the garage. Let me go look." And that's kind of what it was. So
the Corvette, the Corvette.
Yes.
You legitimately. Never. It just sat there. It just sat.
Pretty much. I actually drove it. It was in Baltimore. I remember like maybe the second or third off season after we had won. Me and my wife drove only one car with our kids down to Baltimore. So like we had one car there and the Corvette. So I wanted to leave Dana with a car. So I was like, all right, I'll drive the Corvette in. I'll drive the Corvette into work today. And I go to get in it. And nothing, like I can't even open the doors because the battery was dead. So I had to like YouTube, how do you open the door on a 2013 Corvette when the battery's dead,
I remember your reaction. I think we talked the morning after the Super Bowl and you had to do that press conference when you hadn't gotten any sleep. And like I remember that you didn't know that you were going to get a car for being MVP. Is that that was sort of a surprise to you?
You obviously you remember when you're younger and you watch Super Bowls, you can view back and see those types of things.
Yeah.
But I think when you're in the moment, when I was in the moment on the field, that was like the last.
You won the
thought that
Super
I
Bowl,
had,
right?
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like I wasn't thinking about the damn car at that point, and it was kind of like oh yeah, that usually does happen. That's kind of how that's what the feeling was.
Did you at any point ask can I trade it in for a trip? Did you have any conversation?
Yeah, no. Really, I was kind of like, all right, what am I getting? All right, that's kind of cool. I get somewhat of a pick, but ultimately, I view it as a trophy. I view it as another piece of hardware, and it is cool to have. It has on the VIN number. It says Joe Flacco, Super Bowl 47.
Well, that's
MVP,
cool. Okay, that is cool.
So it is pretty neat.
Now you said, because I have not seen a clip yet from the game in Baltimore. What is the clip that we're going to see?
One of the ads. I think one of the ads for the show was one of my sons saying, "If Dad goes off today, I'm going to crash out." And my wife says to him, "What do you mean? Why would you do that?" And he's like, "I benched him in fantasy."
Ha! It's so great.
So when you were asking me about my kids, and then you were about to tell a clip, I was like, okay, I wonder if it's him doing that.
Wait, did he put you in the lineup for either the Steelers or the Bears games last year?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
we have to get to
remember.
the bottom of
know.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, you would have seen the crash out. Joe, when you agreed to do this, right? Obviously you didn't know what the scenario was going to be in Cleveland, and clearly it didn't end up being in Cleveland for very long. It's not like a lot of guys that agree to do it that know they're, of course, the guy. They're QB1. There's no competition. Why did you want to do it? Why, particularly given those circumstances?
Yeah, I got the call from Peyton right after I was probably named the starter in Cleveland. And yeah, you don't know how the year is going to go, but it's kind of hard to say no to Peyton too. So
fair.
And he kind of convinced me, listen, I'm a little bit older and I probably see it a little bit differently than I did when I was 23 years old. And he kind of brought that up. Listen, I don't think I would have done it, but now being where I am, I would have been, I would have the perspective of looking back and saying, you know what, I should have done that. And kind of the value of just having a little bit of a time capsule for my whole family and how we were at this point in our lives, and always being able to look back on it. So, some things, there's obviously some advantages to doing it. And he tried to kind of downplay the disadvantages and how kind of non-invasive it would be. And I have to say, I feel like it really was pretty, non-invasive. I feel like they put a mic on you once a week and you're mic'd up for half the games anyway, so
That's
who
true.
cares if you're putting a mic on for a few more? So, I would say he was pretty convincing just from the phone call alone. And, they normally only, I think, do 3 guys, and they wanted to add a guy. And I was just like, you know what? I talked to my wife about it, and she kind of pushed me to do it a little bit. And next thing you know, I'm doing it. So
That's cool, man. It's funny because I have so enjoyed this chapter of your life. You know how much we enjoyed the Baltimore chapter of your life. This chapter where you've kind of become America's sweetheart, right? Where you're just everyone roots for you and wants to see you succeed. I know, and I remember you talking about it last year that hey, yeah, I think I should be starting. I think this is insane that you have to go through this, and I understand that feeling. But have you been able to embrace this part of your football life and what it's meant to people to watch you grind and to watch you go through the things that you've gone through to continue finding success at this point in your career?
Yeah, listen, I've definitely been able to enjoy it. Listen, I think anytime when just kind of what you've been talking about, I feel that. So, even though I might not be doing exactly what I want to be doing, I'm not going to let that. I'm not at the point where I'm going to let that hold me back from the possibilities of what I could do and, the opportunities that present themselves. So, and the people's reception of that has made it more enjoyable. I mean, I'm obviously doing what I do because I love to do it and because I have personal goals and things like that. And I'm always enjoying that part of the process. But having everybody being so receptive over the last couple of years has been quite a surprise, and it's made it a lot more fun.
It's really cool, man. It's such a fun story to see unfold. You said something when you got to Cincinnati, not having the family there with you, that you actually kind of enjoyed going to dinner by yourself, which I got to tell you is the most relatable thing. You are one of the most relatable athletes that I've ever been around, but that uniquely is so relatable to me at 42, where,
for sure,
dude, the first time I went to a movie by myself, I was like, oh, God, how pathetic am I? I'm going to the movies by myself. But now, I could go to a concert by myself. I could legit.
I know.
If no one wanted to go, I had tickets to the Black Crowes a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I'm just going to go.
Exactly.
I don't care. I don't need that affirmation at this point in my life. It's okay. How real is that for you?
Yeah, well, it was funny to see because I'm just doing a random interview and kind of talking about random stuff, probably rambling on a little bit too long. And the next thing you know, I wake up the next day and I have, a million texts from all my buddies about how funny that interview was. And when you think about it, it is really relatable. That's the type of thing that you think you're the only person that might be thinking that, but there's so many people out there that are traveling or just, kind of doing so many things with their family day in and day out. When they get that little break here and there, they learn how to take advantage of it and enjoy it. And, listen, I love being around my kids. I love being around my wife, but there is that alone time that everybody needs. My wife needs. I mean, listen, my parents were able to give that to me and my wife this year because I was out there alone. There were times where she would come out, just by herself. And it was like, wow, how fortunate are we? It's like we're dating again. We went from 5 kids to 0 kids, and we don't have to think about them for a week. So I don't want to sound like I'm hating on my family, but there's, it is a reminder. Everybody needs those little resets, and everybody kind of gets a chance to get those every now and then. I think at a certain point you can look at those business trips like, oh my God, I got to go on the road again. I got to do this. But then when you get to a certain point, you realize, listen, I got to find a way to enjoy these things. I could have been sitting in my apartment and down on myself and kind of homesick from missing my kids. But you got to realize you got to learn how to enjoy the little things. And that was just a little piece of getting me out of the rut when I'm maybe thinking about being homesick. It's like, hey, let's go out and get something to eat and kind of try to be a normal person. So
I so appreciate it, man. I so appreciate it. I know you didn't get much time with him on the field. Did you get to know Trey Hendrickson at all? I know you've gone up against him in the past. Did you get to know him at all last year?
Just a little bit, because he was also hurt when I kind of right after I showed up, he was hurt. He got hurt in the Green Bay game, and he really wasn't around as much after that. So only a little bit. But I know you're getting a good player, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's that part we're obviously very excited about. He's really good at getting quarterbacks on the ground, which we like.
Yes.
We like
yes.
that part a whole heck of a lot. There's obviously, I'm sure you know the other thing that you said on the show that's getting a lot of play is the hit from T.J. Watt. So I'll ask it directly: are the Steelers dirty, Joe Flacco?
I don't think so. I think that's part of the game. I actually enjoy that part of the game. I think eventually we're going to be missing out on it. I remember kind of talking about that hit on the sideline a little bit, and the fact that he probably knew I was a little banged up and he was going to come after. I think that's a part of the game. I in no way looked at that as like a bad thing on his part. I somewhat can respect that.
It's
like
interesting.
he knows what he's doing. Like that's part of the game. When guys are hurt and it's part of your job to kind of exploit that a little bit. And that's the game of football. And I don't think anybody should apologize for that.
It's so funny you bring that up because you're kind of one of the few guys that are left. I remember like Ray early in your career saying, "I'm not changing the way that I play. Like if I get flagged, I get flagged. I'm not changing.
Sure.
This is who I am." You obviously, I know, have talked about it before, the way the game has changed. I think at this point we've all kind of accepted this is just the way it is, and we do ostensibly think that we should be trying to look out for players' health. And I know that wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Hey, they're playing on Thursday nights and playing in Brazil and things like that.
Right.
Is
exactly.
it a net positive or a net negative for football the way that the game has changed?
Listen, I think it's hard to argue about the direction of the National Football League over the last 10 years. The growth has been incredible. The amount of people that are watching the game of football, I mean, they found a way to just they've found a way to just continue to basically have compound interest on the amount of eyes that are watching our sport. I ultimately think that there's some things that are missing from the old game, but at the end of the day, it's about getting that viewership and getting people interested in our sport. And I think it's hard to argue with the job they've done there. They've done an incredible job. And it's probably through things like this that they've been able to take advantage of. And yeah, listen, I think there are things that are missing from the game the way it used to be 15 years ago. But like I said, they've done such a good job in so many areas that it's definitely a net positive with what they've done to the game.
Did you have a vote in the NFL Top 100 Players poll?
I think they always give you a paper. They always kind of they'll go to a couple people around a locker room and say, "Hey, fill out 20 guys here." I usually turn it down. I don't usually feel like filling it out.
Dude,
so.
Every time I've talked about this list, I will never forget. I'm not going to say who it was, but a prominent player that you were teammates with legitimately asked me if I would fill out the list for him once upon a time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
He handed it to me and said, "Who do you think should be on this list?" So that's why I don't give it too much. That said,
that's players,
right.
We mostly don't really
right.
doing that.
You're worried about what you're
and
worried
what
about.
What are we going to do besides maybe put ourselves on there and then like the same 15 guys that everybody else is going to put on there? You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And or you better put your teammates.
We have a unique. Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing. You put your teammates on there. Like everybody kind of thinks we have this unique perspective on things, and at the end of the day, we really don't. We're trying to look out for our teammates. And like making sure that, like, I remember the old Pro Bowl voting. You're like, oh, well, we got a guy that's really good at that position. If we vote for the other good guy, well, we're kind of screwing our guy. You know what I mean? Like you could, and hopefully I think overall that doesn't end up affecting it a ton, but there is a little bit of that.
Oh,
I mean, think about it. Like,
makes sense.
Like you're gonna look out if your guy, if it's like a neck and neck battle, you're gonna try to do the best to look out for your guy, so.
No, if you want Dennis to be in the Pro Bowl back in the day, right? Like then you don't want to vote for. Hey, if I really think he's the best, I don't want to vote for that guy because it might be what squeezes Dennis out. It actually makes a ton of sense when you say it that
so
way.
Like sometimes the player voting and the coaching voting, like sometimes, like that's why I tend to, even though like the fan voting can kind of be crazy and it's just a popularity vote. I kind of tend to lean, who cares? That's what this is basically. And we should probably just use that. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is.
So I say that to say, but we can still be pissed off about Lamar Jackson being 69th, right? Like that's absurd, right?
Well, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing? Like, there's 68 players in the NFL that are better than Lamar Jackson. I'm so sure that's the case.
Well, you got it's just like everything, though. These lists are meant to invoke some kind of response. They're meant to have everybody, talk about it for the next month
do
before,
6 weeks
before
of
the season starts.
This is like when some guy I know said he was the best quarterback in football. This is like that, and I probably should have given you a percentage of every paycheck I got after that. It's interesting you bring up the Pro Bowl. You decided to go this year. You had been invited before and turned it down. What was that all about for you? Why did you decide, hey, I'm gonna go choose to be a part of that this time?
Yeah, well, I think, listen, like I am a little bit older, and it was nice to go do one, and also I have kids that I felt like could have fun during the week. I remember when I was younger, and I don't regret not going, but I do have a different perspective now. But when I was younger, listen, it meant something to be one of those three guys, and I kind of wanted my first time to be one of those three guys. And listen, you were competing with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning; those were like locks. Like they're two, so it was really one spot, and who was going to get that spot? Was it going to be Philip? Was it going to be Ben? Like who was it going to be? But I did. I would have taken a little bit more pride in being one of those three spots, and that's kind of how I looked at it back in the day. And then listen, I mean, one of my kids was being born on one of those, and who knows? But at the same time, listen, I'm a little bit older. My perspective changes. I get less worried about that stuff, and I just thought it would be a cool thing to attend.
I'll wrap with this one, man, and I always appreciate it. You got the chance to play against the Ravens last year. Is there any part of you that's like, yeah, I know that nobody wants Joe to be hurt. I get that, like that's the way that football works. But is there still a part of you that says, I kind of like to get that pelt. I kind of like to get one over them before it's all said and done.
Oh, listen, I mean, yeah, I don't look at it like that necessarily. Like, oh, I wish I could play this game right now, but of course, it would be nice at some point in my whatever I have left to have if all things are equal, like it'd be great to have an opportunity to actually get one on them,
I understand that entirely. We, of course, will root for the exact opposite of that. No disrespect to you, but I completely get it. That makes all the sense in the world. New season of Quarterback is streaming now on Netflix. Joe Flacco, can't wait to watch it. Appreciate you eternally. I hope you know that. Thank you for taking the time for us. Let's talk again real soon, all right?
No problem. You got it.
Thanks, brother. Joe Flacco. Really appreciate that. It was very cool of Joe to take some time. It had been a little while. It's good to catch up with him. And he really is pretty high up on, like, the America's Sweetheart rankings at this point. Like, who are the NFL America's Sweethearts? Oh, this would have been this is a great All-Star Week topic. Like, who are the most, regardless of team, who are the guys that you're rooting for who are the dudes that you
Stafford, I guess.
I think so, but I feel like that's been lessened because he won a Super Bowl, right? Like and I get somebody would say, well, Joe won a Super Bowl too, but like what's made Joe America's Sweetheart has been the perils that he's dealt with since then. That people have watched him struggle, have watched him get benched, and still go out there and say, I still want to play, and just be so likable every time he talks.
Right, because it's like easy. You immediately you're like, oh, well, Mahomes or Kelsey, but I think people are very fatigued.
I think they're very fatigued on those guys. I don't think they're American. I think they get a lot of national attention, but I don't think they're America's sweethearts.
Right.
Who are the other Americans?
Burrow-ish, I guess. I don't know.
I don't think he's I think he's likable.
And I can't
outside.
tell.
Like here, we root against Joe Burrow because he's a Bengal. I do think you're right that, like in general, people. I think that all three of the
Josh Allen.
I think Josh, Lamar, and Joe. There's always particularly with Lamar. We can talk about the thing, but I don't really have anything to say about it. There's always the people that are. It's just insane the way they talk about them. But I also think there's a significant number of people that openly root for Lamar Jackson, despite the fact that he is not their quarterback. I think there's a lot of people that want to see Lamar Jackson succeed because of all the BS that he has dealt with in his career. I'm trying to think if there's any other good examples of what, like the way that Ryan Fitzpatrick was America's sweetheart. And I think that is a common journeyman, like that Joe's kind of become.
Marshawn Lynch, like.
That was a different type of America's sweetheart. He was just so wildly entertaining that we, like, dude, he was going to hop on the cart and drive the cart around.
Is
like,
Flacco like the only one? Like, I'm trying to, like, every guy, like, I'm trying to, like, all the famous guys, right? Like, I'm thinking, like, Micah Parsons, he's still hated by fan bases.
He was a Cowboy for a long time, and a lot of people just hate the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I mean, Larry Fitzgerald was this type of guy late in his career.
Is there anyone that, like, hates Myles Garrett? Like they're showing him during World Cup
you know
games,
what? I think that there's something to be said for that. Like that Myles. Now it'll be interesting now with him being in LA, but I think that there was a lot of course, there was the helmet thing that was very awkward, and but I think he overcame a lot of that, and I think that for a lot,
I think most people don't like Mason Rudolph. So it's like
and I think a lot of people just embraced like the guy that was willing to deal with the suck and still try to commit to a fan base and a city. I don't know if any of that goes away now with him.
Jared Goff, I don't know.
I think I think there is some of that with Jared Goff. Not to the level of Joe Flacco, right? Because he's not the pop culture figure. Not to
Derrick Henry. No one hates Derrick Henry.
I think there's something to be said for that. I think that everyone loves Derrick Henry. I think you're right about that.
But it's when Flacco opens his mouth, everyone goes nuts, right? Like
because
whatever he says.
He's just so relatable.
Yeah. Derrick Henry does not have a single quote.
That thing with him in the Super Bowl, MVP trophy is just so Joe Flacco. Like, I don't know. Like, it was at my dad's house.
Yeah. But I guess that's why Derrick Henry doesn't really count. Like, he just, like, obviously no one hates Derrick Henry, but, like, there's nothing.
Yeah, but I
think
when you bring up the name Derrick Henry around football, there is an aura that exists to him. Like this is the guy we send to face the aliens,
Sure. Yeah.
Like there's some amount of that. I think that's actually it's crazy that it's right under our nose, but I think that he is high. I think Myles Garrett is on that list of just really embraceable guys. I feel like there was a bit of that with Brock Purdy because of where he was drafted, that he was kind of America's sweetheart because he was undesirable, he was unwanted, and
so it almost does it have to be a guy with a babyface turn here?
I think there has to be an adversity that comes with it, and I think that your Matt Stafford point was well taken until he won. I think after he won, it was we don't have to see him win again. We don't have to. We desperately
Especially
wanted.
Now that he has an MVP.
We just desperately wanted to see him win. We desperately, for everything he went through, and that I think is where the Myles Garrett.
Yeah, and that's where Jared Goff kind of starting to reach that kind of.
In a way, but I don't know that he's ahead of the other guys. Like I don't know that he's ahead of Allen, Lamar, and Burrow on like the guys that haven't won a Super Bowl that we want to see win a Super Bowl. I still think Goff would be behind those guys.
Jackson Dart's getting there.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that.
Maybe Scatterboo. I don't know.
Right. He knows where he is. Vrabel, I think.
Yeah, Vrabel. Maybe people that cover the league too, like
America's sweetheart.
She used to work for ESPN is the one I'm thinking.
I could, if like Tua found success.
Yeah, okay.
I could see Tua.
He's in Atlanta, right?
Yes, he's in Atlanta.
I guess.
Kyler,
he would
Kyler went to
definitely count.
Minnesota. Tua went
where
to
is he?
Atlanta. Yeah, but that's. I think if Tua like started and was succeeding, it would be the type of story. Daniel Jones went through that. Daniel Jones absolutely is in this, where because he had faced the adversity and then found success, it was more embraceable to people than if he had just found success in New York. It wouldn't have been the same thing. But because he went through that, oh my God, Baker! What are we doing?
Oh yeah, Baker is
absolutely an American.
And
he's on the show too, isn't he? Isn't he one of the four quarterbacks on? Isn't it him, Cam Ward, Joe, and
No. Yeah, it's Ward, Joe.
I thought it was Baker. It's not Baker.
Hold on, I wrote him down,
and you're the tubular guy.
I know, because I wrote it down.
Your department.
Quarterback. Oh yeah, it is Baker. Jaden Daniels, Baker, Flacco, and Campbell.
Thank you.
So yeah, Baker.
I'll just be the tubular guy, I guess.
Jaden Daniels, I guess he kind of. These are all harmless. These four are all harmless.
I think Jaden Daniels is an exciting phenomenon, but I don't think he's an America's sweetheart.
Cousins-ish.
There's probably something there to it.
Though you like that.
Somebody's going to point out we've named an awful lot of white quarterbacks on this list.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to point that out.
Well, we said Lamar.
Myles Garrett. We've named an awful lot of white quarterbacks on this. Derrick Henry. I did bring up that Larry Fitzgerald was America's sweetheart for a little while.
What other receivers are likable right now?
I don't know how many receivers. I mean,
Justin
it's
Jefferson?
not Puka. I know that much.
Justin Jefferson?
It ain't Puka. Yeah. I mean, do we know any reason to dislike Justin Jefferson? I just think we kind of nothing.
He does a lot of social stuff with the Vikings team. Like
Does he?
Like they played a prank on what was their
Mike Evans fits this.
Oh yeah,
Mike Evans is absolutely yeah. Those are guys that you just root for. Like you want them. If you got this year to the Super Bowl and it was San Francisco versus who's an innocuous AFC team that could be Houston, you would root for San Francisco to see Mike Evans.
CJ Stroud, then?
No, I don't think he's America's sweetheart. I think that I get what he's been humbled, but I think the humbling almost has to require you leaving a team, like you being abandoned.
Right. Or you've been there, I guess, for a decade.
Yeah, if you keep going, the way that John Elway at the end of his career went through that. Who else would fit this? I don't know. That's probably the list. We've named a bunch. What are we doing here? I don't care that Lamar Jackson is 69th on the top 100
Well, you
players.
should.
I don't.
It's ridiculous. It's outrageous.
What Joe said, it's about right. It doesn't mean shit. It just doesn't. It's been a big day for shit on this show. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean anything. And frankly, I don't even care about whether or not it's disrespectful to Lamar anymore. I don't care. I think Rita made a good point. Like, it doesn't matter, but I hope that it pisses Lamar off. Like, if for some reason it does, then cool. But I don't think whether Lamar goes and has an MVP season and wins the Super Bowl is going to have anything to do with whether or not he's pissed off. I think it's going to have to do with the fact that he's Lamar Jackson. Is it absurd? Of course it's absurd, but who cares? Who cares? They don't say, hey, were you ranked in the top 10? Well, we're going to
get $1 million bonus.
Or I'm trying to think of something that'd be practical that could help the team. Like, we're not going to give you a bonus draft pick.
You get a fourth round.
Yeah,
fourth round
like
pick.
There's nothing. It does not matter in any way.
Do that, though.
Oh, you think that related to specifically the top 100 list? It just doesn't matter. Who cares? I don't care about any of these rankings. I don't. If I was paid at a level to feign that I cared on, like, you watch ESPN, so you think that that's a real world. That's not a real world. It doesn't matter. When was the last time you watched the NFL Top 100 show?
That time.
Yeah, never.
When
I remember the first time they did it. I actually remember it really well because I was.
Was this when they were doing like the Belichick thing or no? That was just all-time players, right?
Yeah, that was like an all-time.
Like Saban and Belichick.
They did the first time they did it was like in 10 or 11.
Bill Belichick,
somewhere in that range.
Everyone's favorite as well.
And I remember it was such a big deal. Like, this is back when live TV also mattered. Like, we had TiVo, but we didn't do streaming the way that we do streaming. So like what was on TV mattered. I remember like. I don't remember who it was that coordinated, but like on tonight's show, it's going to be unveiled that Haloti Ngata is number 20-something or whatever. So can he call in tomorrow? Like, it was such a big – we had to do a reaction to the show. No one cares. No one cares. It's irrelevant. I care about whether or not Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl. And I only care about that in the context of, like, I want Lamar Jackson to win a Super Bowl. Because, like, Lamar Jackson's a Hall of Fame player. That's done. That's settled law. The Supreme Court can't overturn that. Lamar Jackson is a Hall of Famer.
Maybe FIFA can.
I haven't had a chance to talk about that here, I guess.
And we've already,
yeah. I mean, this is our first show back. I mean, it was always going to be a little bit longer. Like, that was always going to be the case. And I think we're going to do a short show tomorrow, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute because we're going to be on at a weird time. I want Lamar Jackson to win a Super Bowl, one, because I want the Ravens to win a Super Bowl because, here we are, but also because I want Lamar Jackson to win a Super Bowl. But, does he need to win a Super Bowl? For what? For what? It's not going to be the difference in whether or not he reaches the Hall of Fame. He's a 2-time NFL MVP. All of those guys are in the Super Bowl. All of them. Lamar Jackson is a Hall of Fame football player who either will or will not win a Super Bowl. Famously, but years ago, our buddy Kevin Van Valkenburg tweeted out, will he win the Super Bowl? I don't know. They're hard. Dan Marino never won one. Jim Kelly never won one. There are multiple Hall of Famers. Now, I get it. You'd point out those guys got to Super Bowls and Lamar hasn't. But there are multiple Hall of Famers that have never won a Super Bowl. There are at least one I know of that didn't get to a Super Bowl in Dan Fouts. It's not disqualifying. Well, Warren Moon never got to a Super Bowl, did he? How many?
Was he always in Houston?
No. He was in Minnesota, Seattle. How many Pro Football Hall of Fame quarterbacks never played in a Super Bowl? I used to know this off the top of my head. It's something that would be good to know.
Warren Moon did not.
Dan Fouts and Warren Moon are the only modern era quarterbacks to have gone to the Hall of Fame despite never playing in a Super Bowl. But there are two. It's not it's not even like there's one and it's unique circumstances. There are multiple guys that have never made a Super Bowl that have gone to the Hall of Fame. And Lamar Jackson is better than both of them. He's a Hall of Famer. The only thing that matters is, does Lamar Jackson win a Super Bowl? That's it. All of the rest of it is just nonsense, again, so that you might tune in. You might rage bait tune into Yak Fest on ESPN. I don't care. I don't care where he's ranked on that. I don't care where he's ranked on. We always bring on our guy Mike Sando whenever he does his quarterback tiers, and I'm sure we'll do that again, and I won't care. I won't actually care. What? Because it doesn't matter. And I had somebody getting after me yesterday it's your fault because you need to call it out because it's just about blatant racism. And do I think racism exists? Absolutely. Do I think that racism has been a factor in the way that people have discussed Lamar Jackson? Absolutely. Yes, 100%. If you're racist, I think you suck. But I don't care about where he is on a dumb ranking. I don't care. Period. And I know somebody's going to be the one to be like, hey, you spent 5 minutes telling us you didn't care. Thank you. I'll move on. What else was on my list?
Fred Warner's likable.
Fred Warner is he likable?
George Kittle. We're 49ers. McCaffrey, I guess.
What do you think about those? What do you think about
You
those?
hate them. Okay, you hate
Well, I just don't know if we have enough of a profile on Fred Warner to feel.
Well, he started doing. He was doing what he was doing coverage of something.
Was
over
he?
the playoffs? Yeah.
Oh, he did do, and he was good.
Yeah,
You're right. He
yeah.
was good.
So
I don't know if that's enough to put him in the America's Sweetheart category,
right.
but you're right. From someone that I had very little on, you are right that he was very good.
Oh, Brandon Ayuk.
Great guy.
Everybody loves him.
Great guy. Kittle, I think you're right about the smelling salt thing.
Yeah.
I think that
WWE stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more there with Kittle. I think you're probably right about that. McCaffrey's a weird one. And he's so high profile as a player, and yet
He's kind of like Mike Trout, right?
Yeah, he's kind of not really a media presence. I would also argue that, unfortunately, I think there's a factor there in that with McCaffrey, too many people drafted him high, and then he got hurt,
they
and
hate
so
him.
I think there are people that I'll never draft him again because of it, right?
The only guy that can rival Flacco is Jameis.
Oh my God! What are we doing?
I
Holy
can't believe
yes!
Yeah.
How did we even have this conversation? Jesus!
Yeah.
And we were calling ourselves out for only naming white quarterbacks when the most obvious answer is not a white quarterback. It's the most likable human being on the face of the planet. What are we doing? He is the definition of America's
him.
sweetheart.
I mean, it'd be him and Joe. Those would be. It's
very
a discussion.
neck and
It
neck.
is a discussion between those
Very
two.
neck. I don't know. I think Jameis
You think
is
Jameis
ahead.
edges him?
I think he's ahead on that list. But it is also kind of different
Call
with
Joe
Jameis.
back, see what he thinks.
Who's more likable, you or Chance? I kind of love that. I love the idea of doing that. All right, yeah, there we go. Thank you, Joe, and I don't care about Lamar.
Wow.
I don't care about Lamar's
Wow.
ranking.
All right.
Stop.
Go win a Super Bowl, Lamar. Let's see if then maybe Glenn will start caring about you.
Stop. The World Cup.
You want to do most likable hockey players now?
No, I don't. I couldn't name. Is Cole McCarr likable? I don't know.
The Kachucks, obviously.
I mean, I got the Hughes because they won. They won us a gold medal. End of list. That's it. Two things. As I said then, spare me the outrage. Do I want Donald Trump or any president of any country calling? No, of course I don't want that. But as I said to a lot of people that were mad about what I said on Twitter, you can't. If you decide you're going to be invested in the World Cup, you have to accept that you are invested in something that it could be called the World Cup subtitle ripe with fraud. Like, you have to accept that. It sucks. I hate that. I wish that wasn't the case. I wish FIFA operated on the up and up. But, like, the last World Cup was in Qatar in December. And we know why.
A great country, yeah.
No, I'm not trying to start a fight between this show and Qatar. That's part of the deal. I also don't think... I think that Donald Trump wants you to believe that he personally got... I don't think that's actually true. I think that they let him be boisterous about that because they're in cahoots together. I think the truth is, we now know that FIFA is willing to, as we saw with Cristiano Ronaldo specifically, bend for the betterment of the audience, the product. It was going to be better for them if the guy that had been one of the U.S.'s best players was going to be on the pitch. Now, as it turns out, didn't make a lick of difference. Got their ass kicked up and down the field. It was 4-1, and it might as well have been 12-1. It was an historic ass kicking.
They got one.
They did get one. I don't even know where we are.
What?
I was actually really pissed off because I said, if we're going to lose to Belgium better win the effing World Cup so that
And you can win the pool.
I would.
I believe that was like really the only game that was like the final game. Like if Belgium won, I think it saved you from losing.
So now
I believe it's Chell. Yeah, Chell lost.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, that game ended it. That game ended it.
You think he's actually going to do it? We've had a history with Ryan. Does he know that he lost?
He had Germany there. No, there's no chance.
Does he know?
I don't think so.
Might want to deal with that.
I got to deal with it.
He better do it. He better do it. Ryan, you got into that. I want Ryan back. This is a straight shoot. We didn't see Ryan was in my fantasy league for years. Had to boot him because we never saw him. And Ryan, I love you, and I know you work very hard. Ryan's working with Ryan Ripken, right? Like
the Ryans.
Ryan has another a real job, a day job. Like Ryan's very hard, and everybody knows I love Ryan Chell, love him. God bless him. We worked together for years. You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to show up. I was going to do it if I lost. I was going to go out there, fat ass, after I ate lamb for nothing but 2 weeks, and God, I ate so much lamb. So much lamb. I don't want it, but this is how it works, Jack. This is how it works. And also, I don't feel that bad about it because it was a bogus red card. This is bogus. It was a soft red card. Soft. So I don't feel bad about it. Spare me the outrage. And if you some people I think just genuinely don't like the World Cup because FIFA is corrupt, ripe with corruption. Good, but if you choose to watch it, you don't get to suddenly say, well, now's the time when the corruption's a problem because I don't like the president. There's a lot there. Don't get me wrong. But spare me. I'll add to that thought the people that are like, well, this might have had something to do with all the vibes were good until then. They got their ass kicked because Belgium's dramatically better than they are. There's some guy that likes to fight with me on Twitter the day I said that day. I'm like, it's embarrassing the way that Belgium's reacting to this because Belgium absolutely should win whether or not Balogun is on the pitch. And this guy's like, what are you talking about? The U.S. is favored. I cannot believe how drunk we got on. And don't get me wrong, I wanted it. I wanted the U.S. to go. But as I said, whenever we would talk about like Ian and all the people that, it was basically like talking about, hey, the Orioles have a chance because everybody's bad. It had nothing to do with the Orioles. We just say they have a chance because everybody's bad. The same thing. Well, maybe anybody could win this thing. Well, as it turns out, it's the heavyweights. Like in the end, yeah, you're not wrong. England, well, but England was on the fringe of being a heavyweight coming into this too.
Yeah, but I mean, well, because they were just kind of like.
But like,
well, we thought their window was the previous.
I agree, but even coming into this World Cup, we said they have a squad that is good enough to compete.
Mm-hmm.
A couple weeks ago, we were getting drunk on maybe Morocco, maybe Japan. As it turns out, it's all the teams we thought were going to be there, other than Germany and Freddie.
Shell had Germany. That was
that's a rough one.
Turned him in.
Oh, and Brazil, I guess. Brazil, we thought was going to be, and that didn't end up being the case either. But the U.S. is not as good. They're not. Which doesn't mean they might not be better than they've been. I think it's possible both things are true. I do think that there have been, like, we have players that, Balogun is a player that I don't think existed on certain U.S. teams. I think Weston McKennie is better than that. We can have the Pulisic conversation about how
right.
good.
I mean, I think that's where it is.
That's a fair conversation.
And that's why people are, because, we were told this is supposed to be the best guy.
Right, and he has not been that, unquestionably.
Especially in
He has not been that in for the U.S. in the World Cup, specifically.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fair way of saying it, because he has been a very class international player, but he has not been that guy for the U.S. at the World Cup. And, if he had been completely healthy, could it have been different? I don't know. I don't know what the story would have been. We got drunk off of it's a 48-team World Cup, which apparently they're going to go to 64 next time around. Holy S.
It's like 3 months long. And
I mean, you want less World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely felt it.
Like, it's been a pretty.
After we got through the quarterfinals, I was like, what?
It's been a pretty great.
There's not a game
month and a month at this point. Like, I don't really want more teams, but at the same time, the World Cup rules. And when the only other thing we have all summer long is baseball and like the occasional tennis or golf tournament, like.
I mean, it worked out because neither of the hockey or NBA series were good, like the finals.
Yeah, I mean, the hockey was. You're not wrong. You're wrong because the hockey was really good.
Well, I mean,
until the end, it was
that's what
wonderful.
Well, that's what I mean,
like
the finals and the.
No. Even the Stanley Cup final, the first 4 games of the Stanley Cup final were biblical.
And then it went out kind of.
Yeah, kind of petered out from there. Yeah. But like, you give me 4 really good games,
and then we got the World Cup immediately after that.
Well, that has, it has been magical. It's been magical. The U.S. was going to lose to Belgium because the U.S. was going to lose to Belgium because the U.S. is not as good as Belgium, period. No matter what odds makers or what the people that casually started paying attention to the sport, they are not on that level, period. Now, sports are sports, and goofy things can happen, and you can get results sometimes where a team that's not as good can advance. There's a reason why Germany and
Paraguay.
Yeah, I mean, like, that happens. But it was never going to be because it was reasonable to think that the U.S. should have beaten Belgium. That was bollocks. Nonsense. Just, we got drunk off of results against Bosnia. And scoring a goal when you were only playing with, 10 men, which was fun. It was neat, but it was also a free kick. It's like we got drunk and we lost sight of reality, which is that there was no world where the U.S. actually should have beaten Belgium. Should they have gotten drubbed the way that they did? That part, I think it's reasonably disappointed. That was as biblical an ass kicking as it gets.
Well, the goalkeeper was.
I mean that was bad, but really Tim Ream.
Well, yeah. I mean,
the only complaint.
every single guy had like their worst.
Yeah, but Ream was kind of bad for the most part. Like, he was not. He wasn't. It was not a good World Cup. And sticking with Tim Ream is the only real issue that I have with Poke. Like, that's If you asked how I think he did, I think he got everything he could from this group. I think that he got as much as there was to get from this group. I just think that he...
You bring him back?
I
mean, we say that, and it's like, who the hell is it?
And that's sort of the thing. Like, I didn't see anything from him that would say, I think there's a problem. I think that I'd be happy to have him back. I don't know if he would want to be back, but I would be happy to have him back. We keep trying to pretend like this is about the coach. It's not really about the coach. It's about you don't have the players that other countries do, period. That's the way that it works. John in Little Rock is one of the thinks that Trump screwed up our vibes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So like then it would have been us against the world if we didn't have Balogun.
He also joked that if he gets 64, you might get Italy. Maybe you'll get Italy back.
Maybe.
God, what the hell happened to Italy? Like Italy either wins the World Cup or doesn't get in. It's a wild disparity between those things.
They gotta load up.
But yeah, I'd be happy to have Polk back. I would. I think he got everything that you could get from this group. Other than I just thought he was. You could see early in that game that Ream didn't have it. He was not up for that, and I get it. Like that's part of the problem. You just didn't have a very good defense in general. That was always the weakness. And yes, the goalie play. Although to be fair, Freese obviously made the best play that he made in his life in the first minute of that match.
Right. Yeah,
like in his life, that's the best that you've ever. It's so funny. I woke up at 3 a.m. in Tanzania. I actually woke up at 2:55. We were staying in Tarangire National Park.
Good park.
Oh my God, gorgeous. We were what I don't know what they call it, lodge, whatever they call it, is just tents. Like that's what it is. Now they're tents that have bathrooms, but they're still tents. There's a lodge area where you would eat meals, and they have like a place
food court?
No, like an area, a common area, if you want to call it, like a sitting area, a foyer. What would you call something like that? With some couches in it for people. No, because you're staying in tents, you can't go to.
Okay.
Like if you wanted to gather, there was a common area.
Oh, it was outside though.
Yeah, it was outside but covered. It was covered.
Okay.
But open to the elements, like it. In the wind and all that would
like
come
a lobby
through.
kind of thing.
A lobby would be fine, except it's not.
I know.
I'm trying to describe this. It's not in a building. It's just
a square
covered. Yeah, something like that. It's there's a cover over it so that if it rains, you have somewhere to go. I don't know, whatever. So the bit at this place was you weren't allowed to walk back to your tent when the sun went down without a guard walking you back. Because, straight shoot, there was a chance a lion might come. It has happened there before.
What's the guard got to do?
They got guns.
Okay. He's going to sacrifice himself for you?
Well, they're going to shoot the animal is what they're going to do.
I haven't encountered a lion. I don't know. I feel like...
I think they were stun guns. I don't think they were actual guns. I don't think they're actually going to
a courtyard.
Kill.
That's what...
Courtyard works. I'll give you a courtyard. But doesn't a courtyard have to be within it
has to be
I think inside. Yeah, I think that's what a courtyard is supposed to be. Whatever. It's difficult to explain. So I go the night before to the desk and I say, "Hi. I am intending to leave my tent at 2:50 in the morning to walk down here because the only place that I couldn't even the only internet access was in this common area. I would like to walk down here. Do I need you to come?" He's like, "Yep, we will send a guard down to your tent at 2:50 in the morning. They will get you.
Wow.
They will walk you back."
That's extremely nice.
Now, I didn't see any, on every walk back, I ran into, dicks and monkeys. There were monkeys everywhere, baboons. I never saw, a truly dangerous animal, but I get why the guards. I do understand why this process exists. Apparently, there had been a leopard maybe a couple weeks before we had been there. It was real.
Wow.
So they come down, they get me, they're walking me back, and then they're like, "Oh, we got to stop at another tent to get other people." I'm like, "Oh, that makes sense. It'd be other, Americans that are here that want to watch the soccer match. Nope, 2 Belgian dudes.
Oh,
2 Belgian dudes.
man.
Now, they were awesome, and I really wish I would have taken pictures with them because we couldn't have had a better time just shooting the S and sharing this experience at 3 a.m. of watching the World Cup together. And they were planning on watching it on the phone, and then I had rigged up my laptop, so I got the VPN, and I was able to get. And they were like, they were hugging me. We thought we were gonna have to watch on the phone. It was wonderful. My God, it was really a beautiful sporting experience. Other than the result of the match, which was just a drubbing and an ass kick. And then I had the Mark Turgeon thing on my list. No, I didn't talk about. I get pissed off people with My Country Roads. That song sucks. Sorry.
Yeah, but people like it.
It sucks. It's a bad song.
So because you
and it makes no sense. I look, man. I don't. It's one thing if I don't like a song, but I understand why it makes sense. This is dumb. This is a dumb.
It's about
dumb
Maryland.
Song. Kind of. I understood why the West Virginia baseball team. No one's ever said anything good about West Virginia ever until this song. So I understand why West Virginia people love this song. I get it. But why does anyone else in the country like this bad song? And say, well, it's a good sing-along. No, there's one line. You don't know any of the words of the song other than the
Blue
first
Ridge
few.
Mountains.
Okay, keep going.
West Virginia.
Yep.
Mountain Mama.
You know Almost Heaven, West Virginia. Then you might know Blue Ridge Mountains and maybe, although Griffin even doesn't, and the Shenandoah River, which is the next line of the song. But you don't even know that.
Yeah, I do.
You just know Country Roads Take Me Home to a Place Where I Belong, West Virginia. That's it. That's what you know. It's a terrible song.
Life is old there.
Yeah, now you looked at the lyrics.
It came to me.
It's a terrible song. It's for people that think that mayo is too spicy. It's for people, it's the most unseasoned song. And I'm not even a John Denver hater. If you tried to change the 7th inning stretch, I'd personally fight you. This is great artists have bad songs. This is a bad song. Billy Joel did We Didn't Stop the Fire.
I mean, how can you say that when it's the most popular song of one of the most popular American songs ever?
What are you talking about? It's one of the most popular American songs
because everyone
ever.
knows it.
No, they are aware of the existence of it. It's this thing where West Virginia did it during the College World Series, and it got shared because, again, I get it. That scene looked incredible. So it got shared on social media. And so because people were talking about it on the social media, other people decided to replicate it. That's what we do. We're brainless. Somebody does something. Hey, I'm going to go shoot water guns in your face in school. Then we're all going to go do that for a month. We are a brainless people. We deserve to lose for this being the song that they were.
What song should the U.S.
I don't know, but I know that at the Olympic hockey
Wonderwall,
tournament.
they should have done Wonderwall.
Yeah, that would have been good. The Olympic hockey tournament, they did Freebird. And I don't even love Freebird. I like it the way that everybody else likes it. It is a good song. This is not one that means a potential much to me, but it makes sense. It's a song about, freedom. The bedrock of our existence as a nation. It makes sense that we would use that as our song. You know what doesn't make sense for us to use as our song? A song about a terrible state.
Maryland's a great state.
No, it's not actually about Maryland. I know we have no idea. We think that it's about some road in Gaithersburg that took him back to West Virginia.
I enjoy Montgomery County.
But it's a song that celebrates West Virginia, which is the only nice thing that anyone's ever said about West Virginia. It's a state that's fueled by meth and cousin marriages. And, yes, has beautiful geography and topography. We do agree with that.
Like those Blue Ridge Mountains and the Shenandoah River.
We deserved to lose for making this our song. It stinks to high heaven. And then all the people that I also think it's become some sort of dog whistle. I think that it's being co-opted now by I had found some people in my mentions. I think it's now being co-opted, which is that's the type of America we want.
West Virginia.
Bro, stop this.
You know what? You might be right.
It's yeah. Is there?
Yeah, the Blue Ridge
You
Mountains.
got a cousin you got a feeling for?
No.
You got a hot cousin?
No.
Is that what's going on here? Got a hot cousin? I swear to God, man. When I was a kid,
let's talk about the mountains.
We went to a family reunion, and there was Like I who knows if I was even actually related to this female or not. But like apparently my parents saw us like playing together. I might have been 8 or 9, something along those lines. And I think one of my cousins around my age was like, "Oh yeah, Glenn's gonna marry," and whatever. And it was like when I found out that we weren't allowed. I couldn't have been 8 or 9. It had to be like 7, somewhere in that range. When like you don't know, because why would you ever think about whether or not it's legal to marry you're a child. You've never had this conversation, and that's when you that's how I found out that it was illegal. You weren't allowed to marry your cousin, and in that moment,
I got like scared. You're like, "Oh crap!"
Right? Like I had this feeling of like. Should I even have like been playing? Like I don't even remember what we were doing, you know. Like, but I must have been 7 or something like that.
Just playing house or something.
Yeah, I don't think that was it. I don't think we were playing house. We might have had a pretend wedding though. Like that might have happened. I remember feeling awkward. We deserve to lose. Country Road stinks. It's a terrible song. Stop trying to make it a thing.
You just said it's about you and the way you grew up.
That's right. Stop trying to make it a thing. It's dreadful. It's dreadful. There are so many.
Name one.
We got a guy that interacts with us all the time. He's just a big Creed Willem. He's like his. I don't know who he is. He's just a Creed Willems fan on Twitter.
Oh yeah, Creed Willems fan.
Yeah, that guy interacts with us constantly, and he was like, "Yeah, but it's really hard to find a song that people sing along to." I'm like, "No, it isn't. Have you ever been to a piano bar?
It's Freebird.
We will sing along to anything.
It's Country Roads and nothing else.
Yeah, that's it. List of songs. Definitely have never sung along to Mr. Brightside or All the Small Things.
Mr. Brightside maybe would have been.
What?
Mr. Brightside might have.
You ever heard him play Family Tradition by David Allan Coe at a piano bar and the whole place goes, you ever been at a wedding when I Want to Dance with Somebody comes on? Jesus. Easiest thing in the world to do is to find a sing-along. That's why when everybody was mad about the idea of doing a sing-along at Orioles games, I'm like, what's wrong with you? We love sing-alongs. Just make it a song that doesn't... We don't even sing along to the words of Seven Nation Army, and yet it's a sing-along. It's all we do is sing-alongs. You're mad about Mark Turgeon saying that no one cares about Maryland basketball.
Not true. We do.
1, he's right. 2, if you actually read the comments or listened to the interview, it is... When you present it without context, it has absolutely nothing to do with what he actually said. It was not a shot at Maryland. Mark Turgeon, you want to dislike Mark Turgeon, by all means. He wasn't a very good basketball coach. We can have that conversation. That's fine. But he did an interview in Kansas City because he's now the head coach at UMKC. And scroll down. Jeff wrote it up at Inside MD Sports. Hang on. Okay, yeah. No, it's in there. It was on 810. He said, I'm going to do a lot of the same. It was asked how he might be different. He said, quote, I'm going to do a lot of the same, but this kind of sounds crazy. I'm not going to take myself as serious. You know, I lived and died and breathed on every decision and everything that went down. I was always trying to climb the ladder. I was always trying to prove myself, and I've kind of done that. Keep going. Scroll past the ad. And then when I stepped away, I was like, okay, outside your little circle, no one really cares. What I mean by that is outside of the Maryland basketball circle, really no one cares about Maryland basketball. If you're not in that circle and you're not a fan, and I took myself way too serious, unquote. He's using Maryland because that's where he was. But the point that he's trying to make in that interview is when you're inside of something, it's life and death. When we do this show every day, it's the most important thing we do. And then I get reminded constantly by the number of views that it gets how completely insignificant it is.
It's not insignificant.
It's not.
It's not insignificant.
But this is the point is when you're inside of something, it's the most important thing. You live and die over it. By the way, Mark Turgeon also knows how passionate the Maryland fans were because he would tell you that was part of the problem is they were so passionate that, you know, his kids would have nasty things said about them and stuff that he didn't like. It's not about Maryland. It's about if he had coached at Seton Hall, it would have been the same thing.
Towson, right.
Yes. I wish there were more people that cared about it. But when you're inside of it, it's life and death. Once you're outside of it for 5 seconds, when I worked at the old radio station, in my world, it was the most important thing that existed. And then the moment, well, I mean, the radio station died when I was gone, so that's not a good example. But, like, when you're gone from somewhere, when I've worked at other radio stations that I was fired from and still existed, you'd realize that, like, people didn't care as much as you thought they did. You thought they did because it's all they ever talked to you about, right? Like, when I was at 1570, people would talk to me about it constantly. Oh, how about the crazy guy that runs the place? Like, they would talk about, and then the moment I was gone, I realized no one gives a shit.
There's that word again.
I know. It's a big day. Big day for shit. We'll clean that up tomorrow. I'm sorry. That's what Mark Turgeon's saying. It's not about Maryland. He just happened to be at Maryland. What he's saying is, when you're somewhere, it is everything. It is your life breath. It is day in, day out, constant. And then the moment it's over, when you're not there anymore, you realize how easy it is to depart. You might not even check the scores. On the off occasion over the last, how many years have I been gone from that place? 12 years? And the off occasion that someone says, hey, whatever happened to... My answer is, I have no earthly idea. I couldn't possibly tell you because no one cares. Now, when I've been involved with... I'm trying to think if there was a radio station that I was at. I mean, people still talk to me now about, like, Jason Lockenfora over at 105.7. I'm like, I don't know, dude. I'm not involved. I have friends there, but admittedly, I don't listen with all. It's not a disrespect thing. They're my friends, and I hope they do well. I love, Rob and Ed and Jeremy, and Tim's obviously a very good friend, and Ken's a friend, and Cordell's a great friend, and, I've known Bob for 100 years. I've known Bruce for 100 years. I hope Femi's there now, Like, I love Femi. I hope they all do well. But I don't care. I didn't care. The day that Jason Lockenfora was gone from that radio station, I had 20 and all I wanted to say to every single one of them is, I don't care. I don't. It has nothing to do with me. And that's the point that Mark Turgeon's making. Now, even if you take it out of context, he's right. Even if you subtracted the context and said, outside of that little area, nobody cares about Maryland basketball. Yep. Maryland basketball is not a brand. It's not relevant. Now, as my buddy CT from ESPN, one of their producers, said to me today, yeah, but can't we say that Mark Turgeon played a role in that? You're right. You're right. 100%. But the reality is Maryland basketball is barely a brand here. It's nonsense. It's a zero nationally. And irrelevant. It is the relevance of, I would say, a little bit more relevant than, like, Colorado basketball. It is that irrelevant.
Well, when's the last time Colorado made the tournament?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Well,
great. Maryland made a tournament. That makes them relevant.
2 years ago.
Great.
Less than 2 years ago.
What I'm saying, it doesn't exist. Now, the market still matters, so if Maryland's good, then they want the market, right? Like, if Maryland has a good year, then the networks want the games because it's a good market. But the Maryland basketball brand itself is, I'm telling you, as someone who's in, it barely matters here. Barely. If you went to their game in Baltimore last year, you know that. It barely matters. It doesn't matter anywhere else. But that isn't even what Mark Turgeon was saying. So you want to dislike Mark Turgeon?
It's not like Maryland football where
obviously very relevant.
Does matter.
We'll go out there and do another. Reach out to them.
Okay.
We'll go out and do another thing there. All right. We'll try to do it everywhere. I'd love to do one at Navy. I think that's a little bit more difficult because you got to get on the yard and you got to get clearance, and it's a whole thing. But I'd love to do one there.
Well, the president's just handing out clearances for anything.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite that. I don't think we can just get that phone call to get on the yard. I don't think it's quite that simple. What else did I miss that we need to cover? Oh, you're probably hot and bothered about AJ DeBonsa. Oh, God, all those Wizards fans are going to do it to themselves. Looks good in a summer league game. He's immediately a star.
Looks good. Looks good when he's just standing there too. I mean, come on.
Maybe he will be, but will have nothing to do with whether or not he's looked good in the summer.
We have to
league
start doing Wizards coverage. I mean, it's just,
no, we will not.
Yeah, we will.
No, we will not.
Can't wait for NBA opening night.
You can do your spin-off podcast. No problem, but we will
Talking
not be doing it on this show. That will not be happening. Today's show is, actually, if you missed it yesterday, Stan the Fan, Ross Grimsley, Luke Jackson got together to talk baseball. Facebook.com/PressBoxSports. Click on the videos tab. Go to YouTube.com/PressBoxOnline or PressBoxOnline.com/video. As always, Stan's shows are brought to you by Warnken Law and the Costas Inn, with great locations in Timonium and the OG in Dundalk. Come back in. See if there's anything I forgot that I wanted to talk about. Get a tidbit and tubular. We got a whole week. It's Glenn Clark Radio.
The stars are shining brighter at Live Casino this summer. Celebrate America's 250th with $1 million. Earn entries daily July 1st through August 29th and snap a pic with our game board for a chance to win $100 in free play every week. We'll draw 50 free play winners each Saturday and $1 million winner on August 29th. Light it up at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
This is Byron Warnken. If you've been injured in a car or truck crash, you probably know this is stressful. Medical bills, the insurance company giving you the runaround, you got to get your car fixed. You don't just need a lawyer, you need results. At Warnken LLC, we represent the injured across Maryland. Whether it's a car or truck crash case, medical malpractice, or any other serious personal injury, we fight for maximum compensation for you and maximum ease for you. You don't want to have to deal with this stuff. Warnken LLC has been voted best personal injury law firm in Maryland for a reason. For us, 443 Results isn't just a phone number, it's our mission. Get the advocate that you need. Call us today, 443 Results, or visit us online, warnkenlaw.com. That's WARNKENLAW.com.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
When you feel invisible, exhausted, stressed, or anxious, when you have days that just feel too hard to get through, you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health or problems with drugs or alcohol, help is right in your hands. Call or text 988 to get support whenever you need it. Help is here. Call or text 988. Brought to you by Maryland Department of Health.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
All right, back in here on GCR. I guess we talked about the draft with Jim Callis, but I don't, what do you want me to say? You want me to pretend like I know a ton about Eric Booth? I hope he's very good. I hope he's
baseball player,
exceptional for years to come. That's it. That's what I got for you.
Yeah, you're supposed to pretend like you.
I know. That's what makes me not good is if I just don't have it in me to pretend that I know about things that I don't know about. I hope he's good.
Ridiculous.
Thank you to Yannick Sinner for making sure Alex Zverev did not win Wimbledon. Somebody asked me if I think that he's getting closer to the top two. I don't. There was the small part of me that worried that him just winning one, because part of his issue is mental, has always been the mental side of it. There was a part of me that wondered if just getting to default win one because Sinner and Alcaraz weren't there, or Alcaraz wasn't there, Sinner lost in the French Open, would like help him overcome some of that. But you know, he's clearly made himself the top of the rest of the heap. But no, I don't think he's closer to the Sinner Alcaraz level. And I think that was on display over the weekend. Bummer that Coco lost in the semis. God, that was a bummer. She was there.
Well, she was like skating the edge every single.
She really was.
Match.
She really was. But was coming through. That was a huge bummer. It was right there for her. But alas, was not meant to be for her to become a Wimbledon champion for the first time. And I think that's it.
So I still have a chance to win the pool.
Oh, I don't like that.
Why not?
Well, tell me who is it between you and Proctor? Because if it's between you and Proctor, then I'm on your side.
It's down to me, Proctor, Tim.
I like Tim.
And John in Little Rock.
Oh, really?
He's got England.
Okay, so who do you all have?
So I have Argentina.
All right.
But I'm like in fourth right now.
Okay. So you basically Argentina has to win.
I'm in like sixth I'm in sixth right now. But yes, I need Argentina to win, and then since Tim is in first and he has France, so I would need Spain to beat
You need
France.
Argentina over Spain for you to
Sorry,
win.
I would need France to beat Spain because Sorry, I need Spain to beat France.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need
Well,
Spain
hang on.
to beat
Do we give
France.
points to the third place match? How does that work?
I don't think we are.
Are you sure?
Proctor, are we doing?
You better check in.
No,
That's an actual match. What?
Then I might be eliminated then. Because I'm sitting at 28 points, and Tim is in first with 37. So like, if Tim doesn't get another point, but I'd also need.
But hang on, because who does he have?
Actually, okay, no, it could still work, but I need this exact scenario. There's only one
you
scenario.
need him to finish. You need France to be fourth.
Yes,
you need
Tim
them to lose.
has France. Yeah, so I need France to. Yeah, I need France to land in fourth,
All right.
which isn't gonna happen.
Probably not. Probably not. But I don't know. We thought the U.S. was going to beat Belgium, man.
And then so I need England to beat France in the third place game, and then I obviously need Argentina to win the whole thing.
All right.
And beat Spain.
All right.
In the final. But
of that group,
if that doesn't happen, then I'm SOL.
I'm okay with. I would rank. Let's power rank options. Obviously, fourth is John. Like we can't. Not John Little Rock. John Proctor.
Yeah.
Don't want that.
He has Spain. So.
Okay.
So then it becomes.
I think Tim's because that's scrappy if Tim wins, right? Like he doesn't even know that the World Cup is going on right now.
He probably knows.
I don't think based on the text I got from him, I don't think he does. I'm not sure that he's
about recently.
I don't think it's the World Cup. I don't think that's the case. So I think I would power rank Tim as like he's the America's sweetheart of this group in that way. Like he's the underdog story. Then I think I'd go John and Little Rock second. With all due respect to you, I think I'd go John second.
The hell? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, John's involved. He's like the most loyal listener we have. I'm gonna root for John.
I don't see. Yeah, I don't see a single.
I don't
World
think
Cup
he's aware
on their.
I don't think he's aware
on their
that
show rundown.
I don't think he's aware there's a World Cup. I don't think that's the case. And then I would go. There's no chance that he knows he's winning. None.
Oh,
Zero.
Cordell's hosting the show with Tim, so yeah, neither of them are talking soccer.
Probably not. Probably not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Cordell's actually a huge soccer fan, and I just never knew that. So I would go 1 Tim, 2 John Little Rock, 3 you, 4.
That's why you should want me or like Little Rock to win it because we care about the sport.
Yeah, but I think it's sort of great. It's like when somebody wins our college basketball pool, and I'm like, you've never watched a college basketball game in your life.
Yeah, but
I think it encourages more people.
more...
I want to encourage involvement. I want more people to be involved in our reindeer games, and I think when it shows that you don't have to know anything, and this one, obviously, you really didn't have to know anything because you just got a random number, and that was the way that it worked.
Well, I knew, though.
I swear to God,
I needed Messi.
I think when we asked Jeremy to be in the World Cup pool, he was like, I don't know anything about soccer. I'm not going to be in it. I'm like, no, you don't understand. You don't have to do that. Anyway. All right, let's get a tidbit. We've done 3 hours today. I think we're good.
All right, I guess there's
3 hours on a 1 hour show. Tidbit is brought to you today by the print issue of Press Box. Kevin Brown's on the cover. Go get it right now for free at your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores, any of the hundreds of locations around town where you find Press Box, or read it for free at PressBoxOnline.com.
Couldn't get it out in time. Jordan Walker winning the Derby. Got plenty of Derby tidbits for you. I know you're excited.
If it involves me having to answer a question about the Derby, I will not.
5th youngest home run Derby winner in the history.
Sure he is. I believe you.
Name one of the
Nope.
youngers.
That's where you're wrong.
He's 24 years old in 52 days. There was another 24-year-old, and 3 23-year-olds have won the.
Didn't Vlad win one?
He must have been over 24.
All right. I got nothing.
How about 1993? Who won it?
Oh, in 1993, that would have been in Baltimore. Ken Griffey?
No, it wasn't Ken Griffey.
Oh, he at the warehouse.
Yeah.
Who did Juan Gonzalez win?
Juan Gonzalez, the youngest man to win the home run derby.
I didn't realize he was that young in
yards.
'93, but
23. I mean, he was turning 24 later that year, but yeah, he was 23 at that point.
I do have some memories of Baltimore, but that's
one day older. He won it in 2022. 23 years old.
I got nothing on
2022.
Days. Where was it in 2022?
It was that Citi Field? No, where was it in 2022 All-Star game? That would have been in. I mean, they got to do more with these logos. Make it actually interesting. Dodger Stadium.
Nope.
Another Juan.
Oh, Juan Soto.
Juan Soto
right.
won it. Second youngest Derby winner. Then how about 1989?
Oh, 1989.
And then the other one was 1986. Ruben Sierra.
Okay.
Wally Joyner.
Wally Joyner won a home run derby.
I'm
sure that's
shortly after his 24th birthday. We thought Schwarber was going to become the fourth to win a derby when we got obviously got into the final.
Oh, in their home city.
In the host, as the host players. To win the derby, it's happened
to win the dirty.
It's happened 3 times.
I'm sure it has.
First time it happened,
1990. 91 was Toronto. I don't remember where was. I don't remember where 90 was.
Wrigley Field.
Andre Dawson.
Not Andre Dawson.
Ryan Sandberg.
Ryan Sandberg won it at home.
Sure.
2015.
Are you kidding me? 2015. Do I have anything that can get me to where 2015 was? I do not. Where was it in 2015?
Great American Ballpark.
Cincinnati. Joey Votto.
Joey Votto's never won the home run derby. Has he participated? He probably has.
I might not be able to get this one, dog. That wasn't Josh Hamilton.
No. He was he ever a Red?
I thought Josh Hamilton was briefly a Red.
Votto never participated in the home run derby. He should have. I know, it is a little
weird.
surprising. I mean, I guess towards the end of his career, he started.
Did Josh Hamilton get drafted by the Reds? Is that why I'm thinking of him as a Red? No, he was a Red in 2007. I'm not.
Oh, he was.
I'm not crazy. You were trying to make it seem like I was crazy.
I mean, yeah, but 2007 is far away from 2015.
I understand that, but I'm not. Okay, how many 2015 Reds do you know?
I don't know. Joey Votto.
Yeah.
Brandon Phillips.
Brandon Phillips would have been a good get.
It wasn't trying to name guys that obviously weren't on.
Was Scott Rowland?
Scott Rowland might have still been there. It was not Scott Rowland.
It wasn't Scott Rowland. I don't think I'm coming up with this one, my friend.
He did play third. Scott Rowland. Maybe Scott Rowland wasn't there. He did play third. This guy played third base.
Nope.
Maybe you found him out in left field every now and then, but.
Did he play for anybody else?
The Mets. Pittsburgh? Who else did he play for? He definitely played. He was definitely probably more of a
Mets
journeyman-ish.
Mets and Pittsburgh.
It better not be. Okay, yeah, he ended his career with Pittsburgh. That's why I remember that. Okay, yeah, he started with the Reds, played his first 5 seasons there, then went to the White Sox. 1 year with the Yankees.
Frazier.
Todd Frazier.
Frazier.
Yes. Todd Frazier.
Okay.
And then the 2018, most recent host derby winner. Was that
Yep.
DC? It was down in DC.
Down in DC. It wasn't Soto?
It was not Soto. Soto won in 22.
Harper?
Last year with the
with
the Nats. And then one more really good one for you. You're gonna love it. From Jay
I
Cuda.
bet I am.
Jay Cuda. He listed the first names of every single player drafted in the MLB Draft. Which name appears the most?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Jackson.
Close.
Grayson.
There is a Jack is second.
Jack is second.
Yeah. I think, well, they probably separated it. Yeah, there are 4 Jacksons.
Is it a dumb...
No.
Is it a common name?
No.
Is it Mark?
It is a common name, yeah.
Is it Mike?
No.
Is it Chris?
No.
Is it? I don't know. Is it?
Starts with an R.
Starts with an R. Ryan.
Ryan.
Hey.
15 Ryans, 12 Jacks. 2 other guys were in the double digits. Any
got
chance?
that. We got that.
Any chance? You don't like this one?
What do you want me to? What am I?
Guess another name for the top. Round out the top 4 here.
Dave.
No, not Dave. There's no one.
Jim.
Kid Dave anymore. No.
Kevin. Kyle.
No,
Ken.
Kyle's not a bad guess.
Tim.
There's probably no
Tom.
Jims. If I had to guess, no Jims.
Luke.
Luke. 10 Lukes were drafted.
Hey, good
Congrats
was Luke Jackson?
Luke Jackson was
No?
not drafted.
That's a shame. There is a Luke Jackson though. Doesn't he pitch for the?
Yeah. He wasn't a very good pitcher.
Reliever, right?
Yeah.
Is that it? Are we good?
There was another one.
Oh my God!
Fine, I'll just give it to you. Jake. There were 10 Jakes drafted.
Sure they were.
10 Jakes.
How many Jakes do we know? Who are we friends with that's named Jake?
We had intern
what's his
Jake.
intern Jake. I loved intern
Although
Jake.
his name wasn't Jake.
No, what do we call him? We called him.
No, his name wasn't.
Oh
Jake.
right,
We called
him Jake, and it was Alex. Yes, of course, Alex. We called.
We
him
know
Jake
Arrieta.
We don't really know Jake. I think I had Jake Arrieta on like once.
Oh, literally
maybe
know them.
Two times. Oh, what's the guy from Yahoo that we like? The Cespedes Family Barbecue.
Oh, Jake.
Yeah. Mintz.
Jake Mintz.
Yeah, we like Jake.
I know it right away.
Yeah. Is that the only Jake we know? Jake the Snake Smith from Baltimore Boxing. I used to have Jake on all the time. All right. You want to play the Jake game? Do you want to do it? Wait, come on. It's 1:40. Let's just do it.
Okay.
You're up.
Well, I said Jake Arrieta.
Jake the Snake Roberts.
Jake Mintz.
No. Nice try.
Well, we hadn't started the game yet.
No, you're not doing that.
Intern Jake.
No.
Jake Peralta from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We only do Jake. We got to do real Jake.
Was his name Jake?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that. Hang on. It's my turn. You calm down over
What
there.
are you looking up? This isn't fair.
Oh, no. I've got. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Got
Close the laptop.
I can close the laptop. That's fine. Jake Long.
That's good, Jake.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Jake.
Mm-hmm. Now, where are we with Jake versus Jacobs? Do I have to go by Jake?
We should probably try to do Jake, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. Or maybe if he's commonly known as Jake.
Go ahead.
Jake. Jakey Jake. Jake. There's definitely a Jake out there. That
There
I'm forgetting
are.
About.
There are. It's
Jake.
making me feel bad. I only get nervous that you're going to take mine. That's the only thing that happens
How are
here.
there not that many Jakes?
I'm sitting confidently on a... Well, because there's a lot of Jacobs.
Yeah. Jake Johnson. Jake Johnson, the actor.
Oh, yeah, there is a Jake Johnson. Son of a bitch. You're right.
Jake Johnson, the actor.
Yeah, he was on New Girl.
Yeah.
I like that show.
He was on that Hulu movie or something last year. I forget what it was called.
What was it?
It was he was like everyone was trying
Jake
to kill him.
the Snake Plumber.
They called him Jake the Snake. Well, I guess
You really not know that they called Jake Plumber Jake the Snake?
I mean, I guess any Jake would be called. Would be called Jake the Snake. Jake Plumber. How about Jake Jacoby?
That's not a thing.
Jake.
I got lots of Jacobs. Like I'm all over
Yeah,
the
I
Jacobs, but I am actually struggling with like there's somebody that I've got a name, but I can't tell you who it is.
There's got to be an Oriole that named Jake that we.
Well, Jake Arrieta, we got
yeah,
that.
I know, but there's got to be more that I'm forgetting about.
Boy, this has been a rough.
Jake. No, that's not a real person. Maybe there's probably a Jake Sanchez or something else.
Yeah, out on the Jakes already?
No, I don't want to be out on the Jakes.
Well, dude, we got to go. You said we didn't have time to do this.
Well, I mean, yeah, clearly we don't.
Yeah.
It's going to go forever.
It's definitely, this has been our worst one for sure.
Jake.
Normally, I've got like 100 and you're the one struggling. I'm telling you, I know,
that's why I'm like, this could be a winnable one, but I can't.
Oh, I got another one.
Jake.
All right, I'm good.
No.
When you're ready for me to step in and win, just let me know.
I got a cousin named Jake.
It's not gonna be. I'm not gonna do it. Mm-hmm.
There's probably another Jake Johnson.
Might be, but who knows? You don't have it. Just tap out so we can move on.
Jake. No, that's not. It doesn't count. It can't be. Jake.
Mm-hmm. Just get to the point. Get to the part where you. Come on. Come on.
This is, but there's got to be another Jake.
I'm sure there is.
Jake.
Mine isn't even all that good. It's like a fringe Jake, but it's
so maybe I can overrule.
No,
your Jake.
No, you can't. He's famous enough.
Not, fine,
but he's just not a star.
We gotta wait and see what yours is. But I see this round. Yeah.
Jake Westbrook, former Guardians or Indians pitcher.
That a real person?
Is that a real person?
Jake
Westbrook. You got to be kidding me. I bet he made an all-star team. Well, he might not have. Who knows? Jake Westbrook finished his career. Oh, boy. Jake Westbrook.
Jake West.
Cleveland. Did he make an all-star team? He made an all-star team in 2006. Suck it!
He made an all-star team? Could Patrick name the 3 teams that he played for?
Almost certainly. Well, I could probably. Cleveland, Chicago, right, was one of them?
No.
No? Okay, take it back.
No.
Take it back. All right. Go ahead, say it.
Say Jake.
It. Nope. You already tapped. And I cleaned it up. Oh, my God, I got another one. Oh, my God, I got another one. Oh, my God. You're cooked. I already won. Why are we doing this? This was just going to be embarrassing for you.
There's no more Jake like football players?
This one's just going to be embarrassing for you.
Probably like a lineman named Jake.
Yeah, Jake Long. I said that.
There's probably another one.
That probably is. You already lost. What are you doing? We got to go.
No,
we got a 6-hour show. We have to go.
Jake, I told you we didn't have time for that.
Just acknowledge.
Jake,
I'm going to really rub it in.
Oh, Jake Paul.
That's the one. You son of a bitch. That's the one.
All right, so we're both.
We're both you already lost.
We're both like kind of
say it.
Princes of the Jakes here.
See if I can come up with another one.
Jake.
Oh, I got another one. Oh, you're screwed.
Is Jake Howard a guy?
Nope. Jake Gyllenhaal is, though.
That's not a real guy.
Yeah, it's not a real guy. Just say it. Just say it!
Have you ever thought of taking a cruise to these wonderful destinations with sunny skies and beautiful beaches? Well, wait no longer. We're ready for you to cruise from the Cruise Maryland Terminal.
Have a little phrase that you can go from baggage to margarita in about 15 minutes.
Choose fun with an array of destinations, onboard activities, entertainment, and world-class cuisine.
Contact your travel agent and book your cruise today. Let your adventure begin.
I didn't realize you were a man of dishonor.
Well, we're out of time.
I thought you were a noble competitor.
Show's coming to a close. We're running out of time.
You don't shake a team's hand. When you play in the baseball playoffs this week, are you going to shake the other team's hands?
Probably, yeah.
Do the
as long
honorable.
As they don't do anything.
Do the right thing.
Do anything horrible.
Do the right thing.
You win this round of the Jake game.
What do you say?
You're really good at naming Jakes.
Say the words. Say the words.
You really want to be the.
Say the words.
You think you're.
Say it.
The king of the Jakes.
Say the words.
I said it.
No, you said you think you're the king. Say the words.
Well, probably not.
Say the words.
It took you a while to get Jake Gyllenhaal.
I did, but did I get it? Did you get it?
No.
I got Jake Westbrook before I got Jake Gyllenhaal. It really is. That tweet that says boys could just be happy naming former sports players.
Out there. I guess that means.
Come on.
You're barely.
Say the words.
You're king of the Jakes.
Thank you. Now, here's what's coming up tubular-wise this afternoon.
Stupid.
Why are you so mad that you lost?
Because I never win. I don't know why.
Well, maybe be better if I had to
find one that I can win.
Be better. It's on you that you didn't come up with Jake Paul. That was embarrassing that you didn't come up with Jake Paul.
Gary.
You're obsessed.
I did. I got it.
Yeah, did you?
I'm obsessed.
Gary. What is Gary?
Gary Busey's son.
Is Jake Busey. That is a good point. Yeah, he was in oh God, what was he in? He had a big role in something. What the hell was his big role?
He was in.
Busey was in. Was he in Starship Troopers? Was that what it was? Yes, it was Starship Troopers. And I didn't get him. Didn't need him. I had Jake Gyllenhaal. had Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, Jake T. Austin. That's a good one.
Who?
He was the youngest kid in Wizards of Waverly Place. I should have known that one.
All of that. You could be just making.
I should have known that.
You could have just been.
Jake Peavy.
Oh, Jake Peavy. Yeah. How did I get Jake Westbrook
Jake
before
Locker.
Jake Peavy? Oh, Jake Locker. Yeah, I mean,
now I'm winning.
Jake Locker's pretty forgettable though. Like that one, I can't be mad at us or not remember. Here's what's coming up. Fox for the World Cup first semifinal. France, Spain, 3:00 today.
Jake Delhomme.
Oh God, that is one that we should have gotten. Actually, a former guest of this program, in fact.
Jake Odorizzi, the Orioles legend.
Yeah, that one I'm okay with us missing on that one. Also, the All-Star game is at 8. Dylan Cease against Christopher Sanchez. That's the pitching matchup. Also on Fox. Did they already send DeBansa home?
Jake Tapper.
Oh, my God. That's a pretty prominent one. And I'm, of course, Mr. Politics now, so I definitely should have gotten that. Can we stop? You already lost.
Yeah, I'm looking up if AJ DeBansa's playing tonight.
I think he might be done.
I think they shut down AJ DeBansa.
Who is Jake?
Yeah, it looks like they probably
Who's
will.
Jake Scott? Why is Jake Scott coming to mind?
Jake Scott. I don't know. I don't know if I know Jake Scott. Jake Scott was... He played football in the 40s or like the 60s.
Yeah, but he was from Maryland. That's what I was trying to think. Jake Scott. And there was another one that I thought was a thing, but I'm realizing I might have just combined Jake Long and Eric Fisher to make Jake Fisher. No, Jake Fisher was he was an offensive lineman. I was right about that. I was going to go with Jake Fisher, but I wasn't confident in it. All right.
I guess you should have gone with it.
And that's all that's happening.
Netflix,
the World
the
Cup
Netflix
and the
thing,
All-Star.
Yeah, the quarterback.
Oh, yeah, quarterbacks on Netflix with Joe Flacco.
And I clicked out of my tab, and since I was looking up other stuff, and it's not loading now. Yeah, I don't think there was anything crazy. What's today, Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
All right, very good. Thanks today to...
The Real Wolf of Wall Street on Paramount+.
I think I'm going to pass.
Documentary about Jordan Belfort.
Yeah. All right. Thanks today to Zach Moore. Thanks also to Jim Callis. And, of course, to Joey Flacco there, boy.
Nice.
We'll get all that up in the greatest hits section of the...
Kimmel's out of town this week, guest hosting Ike Barinholtz.
What was he in? Oh, he's in the studio with Seth Rogen on... Oh, I did my power rankings. I watched 7 films on my various flights because I've been flying for a lot of time. Number 1 with a bullet is Project Hail Mary. Project Hail Mary is as good as you all said it was, and somehow better. Project Hail Mary is one of the best pictures I've seen in years.
I mean, I loved it too.
Loved Project Hail Mary. Weapons was the second best of all the movies that I watched on a plane.
Weapons was weird.
Well, I mean, it was very good.
Was it?
Yeah.
Josh Brolin was good, but
he was good. Oh, what's her face? Amy. What was her name? Amy.
Jean, no.
Amy Mulligan. No, Amy Madigan.
You're talking about the old the
Aunt Gladys.
clown lady.
Aunt Gladys. Yeah.
She was
Who played her? She won the
me.
Academy Award.
She scared me. I didn't like.
Yes, she deserved to. She was incredible. Weapons. I watched a film called The Threesome.
Amy Madigan, yeah. Julia Gardner was the
yes,
was the female. What I thought you were talking about.
No, I was thinking of Amy Madigan, who won the Academy Award. I watched a film called The Threesome with Zoe Deutsch and Josh Segarra, who's on Josh Charles' show. Was that Best Medicine? That was good. That was good. It was number 3 on my list. The Michael Jackson movie is 4th. That's when things start to go a little bit south. Michael was at least entertaining, even if it was like sanitized and kind of crap. It was still entertaining.
They play his songs, right? So
yeah, and like Jafar, his nephew did a tremendous job. I mean, a tremendous job playing him. And like Coleman Domingo was great, and there's good acting. Mike Myers, you didn't even realize it's Mike Myers.
Really?
Yeah.
I have not watched Michael yet.
Last year's Superman comes in at number 5.
What?
It couldn't even keep my attention.
What?
Yeah,
that
fun. Was not. I did not like
James
that.
Gunn.
Mike and Nick and Alice from Hulu.
Oh, it's Vince Vaughn, right?
Vince Vaughn and
this was bad. Vince Vaughn did something bad. That can't be.
Vince Vaughn and who's the other guy? Why am I blanking on who the other lead is? Oh my God, what the hell's wrong with me? The other lead is James Marsden from Jury Duty. It's silly. It's just very silly. It's very silly. That's all I can say. It's very silly, but it's fine. I didn't think it was a waste of my time. I just didn't think it was good. And number 7 on the list, the Amy Winehouse picture Back to Black. I don't know how they ever approved that film. If you think Michael is sanitized, this is the most sanitized crap I've ever seen in my life. Like, I thought I was watching a mockumentary. Like, it's awful. Truly awful. But I love Amy Winehouse and her music, and that's maybe part of the reason why it bothered me so much. So, yeah, those are my power rankings.
Didn't do it justice.
I also watched 3 episodes of the studio because they're trying to get you to subscribe to Apple TV. So they give you the teasers. But I didn't realize that until I got 3 episodes in. I thought I could just keep watching the studio. I watched 3 episodes. Then they wanted me to pay for Apple TV. And I said, go F yourself. That's not happening until the new season of Ted Lasso comes out. And then I'll go back to watching the studio because the studio is very good. It's very good.
Okay.
Seth Rogen, Ike Barinholtz, and the late Catherine O'Hara.
She's like one of the stars in it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's hosting. Ike Barinholtz is guest hosting Kimmel. And Joel McHale and Ben Marshall will be on tonight.
I do like all of them. I would. Oh, that's not. You're not even. That wasn't even. That was the thing. Yeah, I would go to that tour.
Okay.
I would.
Yeah.
I would. Yes, I like all of them. I would
All
go
right.
to that tour.
All right.
Anything on the show tomorrow?
Yeah, sports.
We're doing
We're gonna recap the All-Star game.
Yeah.
We'll talk
Not
World
really
Cup
gonna do
semis.
Yeah,
We'll
that we will do. So we, unfortunately, tomorrow I am not unfortunately for I love being over there, but I'm hosting TJ's show 10 to 2 on WBAL tomorrow. So the
What are
plan
you gonna
was,
talk about?
I don't know, redistricting,
Traffic.
unfortunately, probably. The plan was to do a 3:00 show, and then I was reminded that would be at the exact same time as the World Cup semifinals, so our show would look like this.
Oh.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch England-Argentina tomorrow, and then we're going to do a show whenever that ends. Might be around 5.
Might be 6 o'clock.
I mean, it could go extra
Or should
time
we
and
just start during PKs and we can live.
Right.
We can live react PKs.
My wife was like, "Are you going to be home for dinner tomorrow night?" I said, I think. We'll see how this goes. Well, also will depend on if we have like a home run guest. If Joe Flacco said, "I want to call in at 5," we just start at 5. That's what we do. So that's the plan, is whenever the match ends tomorrow, we're going to do a show. And then the rest of the week, it'll be 3:00. So Thursday and Friday, we'll do 3:00 shows tomorrow. We might start Thursdays a little bit early because Griffin.
I got more info on
God.
that for you.
Tomorrow, after 5. Tomorrow,
Yeah.
we're going to watch the soccer and then come talk about it with us. All right? Very good. Thanks, everybody at PressBox. All of our great sponsors and partners, including Live Casino and Hotel, the Baltimore Orioles, Costas Inn, Baltimore Area Highs Dairy Stores, Leading Edge Auto Body, Warnken Law, 1-800-GAMBLER, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, Cruise Maryland, CountySports.zone, the Maryland Department of Health, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass, who, by the way, apparently likes Dean Kramer a lot more than he likes Adley Rutschman. Look at the size of Dean Kramer and oh, poor Adley over there.
Maybe you printed Adley. I don't know,
man.
Can't remember.
About that. Anyway.
Why? You hate Dean Kramer?
Those were all the men of the match. They get to stay up here all week, all 7 of them, because we're not going to. There's not a game until Friday night, so we're not going to do a show until Monday. So they'll get to be on this board until Monday.
Good for them. They deserve it.
Yeah.
Those are I guess so. What they went 7-3 while we were gone. That was pretty good.
They were 7-3 while we were gone.
They went. They're 7-3 in July.
Yeah, I guess
so they
lost.
lost.
Yeah, I guess that's right. No, because the last
lost that
I went
White
to the game. I went to that game. Got
that stench out of their mouth. Got you.
God, Trey Gibson, and they just let him stay out there. They didn't even bother warming anybody up. They didn't even bother. Hey, he's in some trouble. Maybe see good. Nope, just went right through it. All right, follow us Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Tuesday evening. Duke sucks.